Yes, my lord.
Rise.
Have you ever danced with a devil? Took a glance at a rebel, had a chance to advance. You are not on my level. You are not my equal. I can pose another sequel. Those that do oppose, I was exposed, and you see through with the spies in my eye. Recognize me as a legend. Refuse to cry and die, so I may never get to heaven. I've been yelling and rebelling since the days I was a youngin'. Been a long time coming. I'll be damned if I'm running. Original individual, so I'm living like a criminal. Give it to you fools direct, no need to be subliminal. Say a nigga name quick, but never to be famous. Put this thing up to your brain, and I'll leave you brainless. Got you sucking, ducking knuckles, watch you buckle as I chuckle. I can see right through your heart. You don't wanna start no trouble. Thought I couldn't get it crunk, well hell I beg to differ. I'm far from a punk and ain't your ordinary nigga. Fake niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your brains. Fake niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your veins. I'ma break them all, break them all. Let me break them all, break them all. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I'ma break them all, break them all. Let me break them all, break them all. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I can see me leading the legion, screaming in the evening. I had the kids pleading, why is daddy not breathing? See, daddy was a heathen, daddy was deceiving. Told him last season, all I'm needing is a reason. I have no sympathy, consider me a lethal weapon. Remain a mystery consistently, I keep them guessing. With the world on my shoulder, my heart turns colder. Life ain't what you think, before you blink it could be over. Ready for revolution, retribution's a solution. There is no forgiveness as you witness evolution. The world revolves as I evolve, take a stroll through my soul. I don't plan to ever pause or take it easy on my foes. Break them off with a pencil in a simple instrumental. Situation detrimental if you disrespect my mental. This is how I really live, I hope I never have to kill. I represent self-defense, if I have to then I will. Niggas, I'm back, the game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your brains. Fake niggas, I'm back, the game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your veins. I'ma break them all, break them all. Let me break them all, break them all. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I'ma break them all, break them all. Let me break them all, break them all. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I don't wanna beef with anybody, but I'm far from afraid. I'm a grown ass man, ain't no games being played. Better shut your friggin' mouth before I kick up in your house. Forensics at your residence, no evidence to figure out. Wasn't seen, had to see, no if or answer in between. This is what I do to you or anyone who intervenes. I refuse to be a prey, not tomorrow, not today. I'ma be a predator. Hell, there is no other way. Bust your brain if I must. Leave you laying in the dust. Only God understands. That's the only man I trust. The rest of y'all die slow. Die with your eyes closed. Talk behind my back, but you can't look me in my eyes though. That's what you call a coward. You can find me down in Broward. Tell me where you want it at. I'll be there in a half an hour. Diamond chains, take them off. Haters, I'ma shake them off. I only deal with the real. All of the rest, I break them off. Niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your brains. Fake niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your face. I'ma break them all, break them all. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I'ma break them all, break them off. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss.
Acknowledge me.
What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Straight Talk with Trevor, where no topic is off limits.
I ain't trying to fuss, but it's a must, you gon' respect this. Plus your nuts will touch the dust, you try to check this. You ain't insane, I write your name down on my checklist. You think I'm playing, I leave you laying, I leave you breathless. As human beings, instead of being so many try to be. You ain't seen what I have seen in my society.
Hey, I'm just a man with a microphone. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations.
Straight Talk Sessions live. You're gonna acknowledge me.
Oh yeah, what's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host Trevor, and I am back with another episode of the Straight Talk Sessions, the Man Talk Monday edition. I am your host, Mr. Straight Talk, the man with the greatest beard on YouTube. Oh, I love throwing that in there. Real quick, I am back on Facebook. I guess they took me out of jail. I was able to connect the channel back. So this video is streaming right now. Peace, Juju. Long time no see. This video is streaming right now on Facebook. So those of you on Facebook, make sure and hit that like, share, and subscribe button before we get into the flagship show of the Straight Talk Society. Let me get a couple of notes out of the way before my co-hosts enter into the building. Shout out to Bones, shout out to Ricardo, shout out to Keela, shout out to Big Mike already in the back, right on time. Those of you that's watching right now, just please make sure and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. This is currently the best show that is going on YouTube, the only show that you do want to be tuned into. So let me give you a real quick rundown of what we got on the channel. You guys know I always like to come on early just to get things out of the way. Can you guys hear me? You know, I always got to ask you, can you hear me? You know, we always like to come on and get a couple of announcements out of the way before we get started with the show at 6 o'clock. So this is Man Talk Monday. This is the flagship show of the Straight Talk Society. This is the show that you're going to get all your, you know, drama topics. This is a show that you may get your arguments. This is a show where we're going to talk about not one specific thing, but we dabble around the world of pop culture and the men just banter about it. So that's what this show is. But if this show isn't for you, and I don't know why it wouldn't be, but we also have other shows. Be sure to check out tomorrow night at 6:05 p.m. The highly acclaimed Tape Fist Politics. Vancat, Mike, MD, and Ricardo do such a fantastic job with that. That's every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Hey, if that doesn't fancy your boat, then be sure to tune into Wrestling with Reality. Guess what? We had a big return in the world of wrestling this past week, and we are going to talk about it. The return of The Rock, the People's Champion, the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment, made his return. So we will be talking about that on Wrestling with Reality. Then this Thursday and the next few Thursdays, as I can see on the calendar, we will be having a debate. We will be having a debate this Thursday, a very interesting debate starting at 6:30 p.m. entitled, Are There 204 Books of Scripture? Yeah, that's going to be the debate topic between St. Louis Undisputed Truth TV and brother Stacy Mobley. So those two are going to battle it out. And we did change the debate format. I will go over that if I have enough time at the end of this show or before their show. Then not this Friday, but next Friday, we have the return of Straight Talk Therapy Sessions with the one and only Dr. Mia. So y'all be sure and tune into that. And then we've had the past 2 weeks, we've had the MMA brothers, Bones and Zay, have pre and post shows to the MMA shows. I don't think they have another one for a couple of weeks, but be sure to tune into that when they are up. Also, this Sunday. We didn't do one last night because the game was too long and the game was over after 11. But this Sunday, promptly after the Dolphins and Broncos, I will be going live around 4:30 to do a post-game show on the Miami Dolphins versus the Denver Broncos. Be sure and tune into that show. That's just a fun show, man, where football fans just come on and talk crap. I mean, that's all that is. I don't profess to be any sports analyst or anything like that. I'm just a football fan, and I get on here and I banter about my team. So anybody's welcome. Any football team that you like, you are welcome to come on board. Shout out to Arthur. Peace for coming on. Keela says, "Grow Broncos." Hey, Keela, I'm gonna tell you like this, because see, that's the thing. Even on these shows, I am the most objective man on the internet, I believe, and I could say when things are what they are. The Dallas Cowboys have the scariest defense I've seen in a long time. And all I'm saying is I want to see them play a competent team. Hey, Queen B, what's up, Queen B? Long time no see. I was hoping you would show up for this topic. I was really hoping that you would show up for this topic. Hopefully you could join the panel. The Dallas Cowboys do have the best defense in the NFL. They have a scary defense, but hey, they beat the Giants. The Giants was down 21 points to the Cardinals yesterday. I mean, so how good are they? And then they beat the lowly Aaron Rodgers-less Jets with Zach, whatever the hell that guy's name is at quarterback. So when you guys play the 49ers, then I'll know that you're a real legit team, because I still have the 49ers as being the best team in the NFL. Then second to the good guys, the Miami Football Dolphins. So we'll see, but just make sure and be here this Sunday for the Miami Dolphins post-game show. So tonight we have a fantastic show tonight. We're going to finally do it. We are going to get into the colorism conversation. Will be the Man Talk Monday cast, but we are not alone, because the ladies from Pour Your Heart Out will be over here to join the panel to get into it with us. I don't think it'd be any conversation, because here's the deal. I'm not too fond of men just talking about colorism, because I'd be curious to ask my co-hosts if they've ever experienced colorism, being a man. So it is a topic that needs to be discussed, but I'm not going to discuss that topic with a bunch of men. And the reason why I do want to do it is because I do want to get to the Erica Mena and Spice conversation, and I do have a couple of words on that. So that will be the jump off point for our conversation, because a lot of people say that there's a lot of colorism going on in there, and that'd be a fantastic jump off point. So here's what we're going to do. The reason I come on this show so early is so I can get all these announcements out of the way, so I don't have to plug them in the middle of the show. We do have a cap on this show. I am putting a 2-hour cap on this show from the time we start, because one thing that we are trying to do over here at the Straight Talk Society, we believe that our content is fantastic. We don't need to run 9 and 12-hour live streams. We don't need to run 3 and 4 and 5-hour live streams. We need to hit you with it, get in and get out. That way it'll keep you coming back for more. That's how we build a society. And I had a long conversation with the EVP of the Straight Talk Society, Mr. Venkat, who isn't feeling good, by the way. So well wishes to him earlier today. And we are trying to do a hard stop at 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours, and we are out. We need to be out at that 2.5 hour mark. So that's what we are achieving. That is what we're going forward on these shows, because you can get a lot in that time. So that's, again, like I said, that's why I come on and I do this to get all this stuff out of the way. So just so you guys know, like I said, we do have a debate this Thursday. We have the are there 204 books of scripture? So listen to that title. Are there 204 books of scripture? St. Louis is affirming, Brother Stacy is the negative on that. Then the following week, we have another debate. Brother Peter Cox will be taking on St. Louis, the Undisputed Truth TV. And this debate is about, did the Ethiopian eunuch, was he referring to the Son of God? Then a week after that, Reginald Young will be back to take on Peter Cox. Would y'all notice in the trend here with Peter Cox? Peter Cox is a debating machine. He will debate anybody as long as it's biblical. He will debate anybody on any biblical topic. And so he's the newest person over here. And besides Stacy, and he's already like had debate after debate after debate after debate. He will be debating Reginald Young on October the 5th. And like I said, Dr. Mia will be back on the 29th with the Straight Talk therapy session. So with all that being said, it is time for Man Talk Monday. We'll be right back on the other side of the break.
Acknowledge me.
Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Been smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find what I rhyme is not a lie. Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Been smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find what I rhyme is not a lie. See you dealing with a vicious mind, heart cold like Christmas time. Every time I write a rhyme, put it all on the line. No need to hold my tongue, hold the mic like you hold a gun. Haters, I'm the chosen one, fakers, I don't roll with none. Don't you ever test my heart, been a rebel from the start. I ain't got time to play no games, I'm too busy playing my part. Keep my mind on my mission, living by my premonitions. Through the world with blurry vision, stressing in high definition. Walking the path unknown to most, the ones that I love, I hold them close. Every rhyme I wrote was dope, no jokes, so folks can overdose. Lyrically, I'm legendary. Yes, I'm very necessary. Fans to see my adversary buried in the cemetery.
Yeah. Straight Talk Sessions live. You can acknowledge me. It's Monday. It's Man Talk Monday.
Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
But we have a responsibility and a duty to be fathers. Not to just make babies, but to be real fathers. And you can't expect any good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter. So, be a man.
Yeah, and we are back. Kev isn't even here. He'll be here. He just sent me a message and said he'll be here in a few, but he isn't even here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's Breezy. See, we're going to have a good one tonight. We are waiting for the women of Pour Your Heart Out to join the panel. The link in the chat is only for the women of Pour Your Heart Out or women, because I don't need to hear a man outside of my co-host really add to this colorism conversation, because unless it's a thing amongst men, maybe I'm wrong. But Breezy, I'll let you up real quick. Hey, Charmaine, I hope you come up with a song. Actually, Charmaine, good thing you said that. I was talking to Venkat today, and we are coming up with an intro for the Bible discussions, because every show that I do has these banging intros, and the Bible discussion, I just come on cold. And I don't like to do that. So we were talking about it. It is hard though, just because, you know, they call us sinners. So, you know, it is hard to come up with a song. Jansen did send me a song that he wants me to use whenever he debates. So maybe we'll incorporate that. I don't know. But oh God, Moon Goddess is in the back. Yeah, we're gonna rock out today, but we are working on that, Charmaine, and the invitation still is open if you want to debate. Should women be preachers? Because I have a couple of guys that want to debate you on that. So that is still open. So I do see the ladies of Pour Your Heart out in the back. Kev did call me and say he'll be on the way. Unfortunately, he was late. He didn't get to see that intro that we've added him to. So there you go. You snooze, you lose. But before I bring anybody else in, we have the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, Big Mike, Mango Mike, whatever you want to call him. Others, I see today he has another name that I can't pronounce. Mike.
It is in a different dialect. It is Mr. Others.
Oh. It crazy as that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stretch this forever until Van Cat cries, yo.
Oh man, Mike, Mango, Mike, and others. All right, we ain't gonna even belabor the point because we're waiting on Kev, and I don't know if Wayne has an appointment, but I see the ladies of Pour Your Heart Out is in the back, and like I said, the link is in the chat. If any woman wants to join on and add to this conversation, I do promise you we will not go over that 2.5 hour mark. So Mike, you know you ain't got no shirt on, right?
I never have clothes on, bro.
But I'm saying you like right on the like
my bad. I don't like clothes, bro. Anybody that knows me, my fault. My fault. I'll find a shirt. My bad. I forgot we got ladies. My bad.
I didn't know if he thought he wasn't on the camera, because that happened on a wrestling show one night.
Yeah.
Mike just sitting there and I'm like, Mike.
My bad.
He's like our boy from Texas or wherever he was, Tennessee, Doug Raines. So we do have some guests on the show tonight, the ladies of Pour Your Heart Out. We haven't seen you in a long time. Shout out, Breezy. What's going on?
Good evening. Hi, guys. I miss you guys.
I knew, yeah, we miss you too. I knew you'd be coming on for this one. We miss you too. And we have Moon Goddess. What's up, Shaka?
What's up?
You and the Cowboys. I hear some mango. Mike still got mangoes. We got I'm hearing myself in the background. And last but definitely not least, we have the queen of the Straight Talk Society, Nene. The queen of Straight Talk Society,
Madam Retrograde.
Oh, that might be Nene. Wait, what? Because I'm hearing myself in the background. All right. So y'all see the title. So I titled the show Colorism. Is colorism still a thing? That's just me being me. One of those grabbing headlines. So real quick, as I always do, Mike, let me ask you a two-part question. Is colorism a thing amongst men, first of all?
I think it's reversed when it comes to men. That's where we got the whole, oh, he over there acting light-skinned thing. You know what I mean? With dudes, it's a little flip. I don't know when it happened. It used to be, oh my God, he got that good hair. I got to get a baby from him. And then it became, he ain't gonna fight nobody. He probably gonna run in the room and cry, or dudes the same color as Drake be like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I don't know when it happened. All I know is I'm lucky because I'm deliciously caramel, so I fit in everywhere, so it don't bother me.
I never thought of it that way. I really never thought about that. And by the way, Venkat went and used, I think Kev has dreads now. Venkat went and used that other picture.
Use the old one?
Yeah, he went and used the old one. Queen B, Breezy, what's your quick thoughts on colorism?
I'm cute today.
I think colorism exists for both men and women. I do think that's a good point that Mike made. People do say, when people are acting soft or when men are acting soft, they're acting light skinned. And I know how much I love Tyler Perry, but if you pay attention to the villains, it's usually always a darker skinned guy, and the good guy is always a lighter skinned guy. So it happens for men too.
With abs.
Yeah, good. Another good point. Shaka. What you got to say about this? Colorism. Is it still a thing? Is it a thing? Is it a thing? First of all, is it a thing?
Feel cute.
Unmute yourself.
It's a thing. It's still very present. Some funny colorism things, like Mike was saying, the whole light skin, good hair, the lighter eyes or whatever. Same thing in with women. It exists amongst us, so it's definitely there and it's still present. It just depends on. I feel like it affects some women and men more so than others. But that kind of pushes you into the whole racism conversation as well. So it exists.
So and I wish I could show y'all the text that I just got from Arthur. So it's a picture of Lionel Richie laying down in his pose, holding a PlayStation controller, talking about how light-skinned dudes play video games. So it's gonna be one of those tonight. I see the Queen Bee looking all delicious back there. Yeah, I see you. Got one of our family pictures all in the background. How you
see my sis? You see her?
What colorism? Me and you have this conversation all the time, and I wish Dr. Mia was on this week. But I wish Dr. Mia was on, but she did tell me that she was gonna be busy. Colorism. Well, is it a thing?
Abby experienced it as a child. Something there still is a thing.
Hold on, let me try to fix your mic. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Uh-oh.
You cut her off.
No, I tried to cut the echo. I tried to cut the Borging out.
I got a joke for that, but I don't want to get you in trouble.
Nene, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you.
I feel adorable today. Am I tripping?
No, I'm saying I don't know what's going on. It keeps loading on my end. So, and when you all were talking, it was going in and out. It's the devil.
Yeah, it's just the devil. Or you may want to go in on your iPad or something. Yeah, because we definitely need you in this conversation. Let me bring Kev up.
Is there any way we can make my picture a little bigger than Kevin's?
Hold on, because I gotta give him his music. Welcome to the panel, one of the co-hosts of the Straight Talk Society Man Talk Monday. Kev!
Not Jamaican.
All right, Kev. I hope you could control yourself. You on the panel with Shaka, so let's control yourself.
I'm gonna try.
So real quick, Kev, we're talking about colorism. You're you're probably the youngest person up here. Is colorism a thing? Do you see colorism as a thing?
You want a quick thought or my full thought?
Nah, quick thought.
I think it's real. I don't think white people care about it. I think when they see black people, they see black people, but black people definitely see it. Minorities definitely see it.
Okay, interesting. So, all right, I want to get to and like I said, we are back on Facebook. Whatever issues I was having has been cleared up. So I want to play this video. Everybody's seen it. And I kind of just want to jump off on this because I think there's a lot of issues going here. So
white people invented it, by the way, so they definitely see it. But I'm gonna step off.
You should have died, bitch! Yo, open the door. Let me.
Hold on, let me start it back.
That bitch should have died. You want to mention my kid? You should have died, bitch. Yo, open the door. Let me out. Let me out. I'm gonna mash up in here. Let me out, bitch. Your son hates you. Your son hates you, bitch. You monkey. You blue monkey.
Okay, so let's have a conversation here. I see again, I can see everything that's going back in the studio. So I saw the look on Shaka's face. I saw the look on Queen B's face just now. And I've had extensive conversation with Mike on this. Right off the bat, I don't think Erica should have been fired right off the bat. And if you guys want to get into the conversation as to why, I don't think she should have been fired because of all the heinous things that I've seen go on that show. Granted, this isn't a show that I've watched in maybe 5 or 6 years. I do like most men do. You watch shows that your wife watches because you just want to spend some time with her, which is the reason why I started back watching it. And then when I saw this, and I'm like, they fired her for that, and this is just me going off of everything that was said before that, everything that I see going on leading up to that, the way they're always fighting one another. And again, it's just black women just looking terrible on camera, and they're signed up for it. So that's another conversation in itself. But so my thoughts real quick, I don't think she should have been fired, but I do think the reason why she was fired absolutely has a lot to do with colorism. And the monkey comment didn't mean a damn thing to me because she said you blue monkey. And once you start bringing them people's kids and you're talking about, oh, that's why your kids don't love you and this and that, then the gloves are off. I could tell you whatever the hell I want to tell you. Then if you bring up my daughter, then you're going to get drugged. I'm notorious for dragging this insignificant dude all across the YouTube just because he said something disparaging about my wife. So the gloves are off when it comes to that. And I'll shut up because we're trying to keep it down. So let's get it. Let's have this conversation.
Where do we start?
Oh, Mike always got the first chair. So we could.
Okay.
And I think Nene, let me see, is okay. She's back.
And,
all right, Mike. Let's get it.
So it's definitely there and it's still present. It just depends on
who's talking.
Yeah, I heard it too.
It's feedback from earlier of whatever I said.
Yeah, why are you still getting feedback? All right, go ahead, Mike.
All right. I personally, I should have went last. I should have let the ladies go first on this one.
All right, go ahead.
They're guests. I should let the ladies.
Right. Now, you know what? We gonna let young Kev go first.
Yeah,
because he gonna put his cape on, and I don't want them to sway his. I don't want them to sway what he's about to say. So go ahead, Kev.
To be honest, I'm curious about what the ladies have to say. But first, what's up, Chocolate? You know, I like what I'm seeing on the show. What's up, chat? What's up, Trev? What's up, Mike?
Wow.
I didn't get a chance to introduce myself earlier, but so you guys see colorism because I just see like ratchetivity in full effect. And like I said, the last show, it doesn't take much effort to make black people look bad. And if we're gonna talk about like not having this represent people, then we got to stop entertaining these ratchet activities. But to me, I think it's entertaining, so I definitely enjoy that stuff. Colorism wise, yeah, like I said, I don't see it, so I don't know. I don't have too much to say on that.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish your thought.
All right, fine. I was gonna let somebody else take over.
All right, Breezy, what you got on that?
On what he said or the colorism issue in general?
No, just the clip. And do you the reason, just so you guys know, the reason why I'm tying it into colorism is because she was fired and Spice wasn't. Spice should have been fired also. If I don't think anybody should have been fired, but if you were going to fire Erica, then you should have fired Spice. And don't use
Yeah.
the and don't use the and don't use the what is going on? And don't use the fact that she said monkey as means to fire anybody. That's bullcrap. That's so
I agree. I don't think anybody should have been fired behind that. I did not watch the episode, but I've seen enough clips of it to see what Erica said. Initially, when I saw it on, I think it was the Shade Room, somebody said that she said black monkey, which is very different than blue monkey.
she said blue
Um,
monkey.
she did say blue, so I feel like she was responding to what Spice said about her son, which I don't know why it triggered that because another clip that I saw, there were multiple men who spoke on her son and she had literally no reaction. That's a different issue. I don't know why she had no reaction, but she didn't. So her reacting to Spice that way, it seemed like it's because she knew she was going to have protection or maybe she felt like she could beat Spice. I don't know. But either way, I think she called her monkey because she felt like that's what she looked like, not because she's black. I think that show is full of a lot of trash that shouldn't be on the air at all. So I don't um I don't think she should have been fired for that. And it definitely feels like they only fired her because people who watched the show were complaining and making it seem as though she said it in a racially motivated way.
See, that's why I love the women to pour your heart out because you guys have sense. If I would have said that she looked like a monkey, though, they would have been coming from my head, but whatever. But she absolutely said blue, and I don't want us to lose sight of that. She absolutely said blue, and that's
I
why
felt
I
like
have.
it was worse of her to harp on the fact that she should have died. Like to wish death on somebody like that so heavily, that was trash to me. Not that she should have been fired for that, because that's really how they want them to act on that show. That's why I hate it so much. But if we're gonna focus on saying something horrible, I don't give a damn about what you think I look like. If you think I look like a monkey, that's cool. But saying I should have died, that's too much.
All right, Nene, let's check your mic. Make sure you're back. Good now.
I'm scared to say
Okay,
anything.
there we go. There we go. Go ahead. Shout out to the queen of the Straight Talk Society, looking all majestic with her nice complexion and looking all sexy. I probably should have tried to get some before the show was over because regardless if I say something crazy, she may not want to do nothing.
Don't block your blessings, sir.
I know, right, Mike? Tell them don't speak negativity.
Shout out to Eddie Israel in the building. Go ahead, Nene.
First off, Breezy, I'm loving your locks, girl. You are inspiration. All right, I want to piggyback a little bit on what Breezy said about her wishing the death. I think that was more offensive than anything. As far as the monkey, I clearly heard blue monkey, so I'm thinking like, okay, maybe she called out black when the cameras weren't rolling and they edited that out. My main thing with it all is knowing that one, for reality shows, they put them in those positions. They set up these scenes knowing that something is going to happen. So the producers knew what was about to go down. They may not have known exactly what words were going to be said, but they knew what was going to happen. They put them in situations where there's always an instigator, Shekinah, or whatever her name is, who gets on my nerves. And then the fact that this was recorded months ago. So now here comes, the creator of the show seeming like she's the savior, like, oh, we take this seriously. They recorded this months ago. So they had plenty of time to know they didn't have to air it if they didn't want to. They had plenty of time to rectify the situation, but they promoted this fight because they wanted to get ratings. They got the ratings, but what they weren't expecting was the backlash from what everybody was saying. So now all of a sudden they want to start firing people. And like I heard somebody else, not hearsay, but somebody else say, if we are fighting, you can't tell me how to fight. If you bring a rock and I bring a boulder, you can't say, no, you were supposed to bring a rock the same size as my rock. No, you can't tell me how to fight when we are fighting. You go low, she went lower, Keela is saying that she has a history of using that slur. I have not heard that, so I can't say that she doesn't. You know, I watch all the shows. I've never heard that, but I think that like what Breezy said, she's never gotten this way with the fellas. I think more than anything that she felt that Spice was a friend. I think they had a real friendship. So that's like if Mike is saying something about my child, I'm gonna knock him upside the head. But if Mike is saying something about my child, but we're not that cool or anything, as opposed to Shaka saying something about my child, that's my friend. Like I share stuff with her. She may have shared something with her, like, you know, me and my child, we're having these issues or whatever, and then you throw that back in my face, I'm gonna go to hell if I have to because you hurt me. What she said may have not have been the best thing, especially about the death, but if anybody was going to be fired, if anybody, I felt that it should have been both of them. And also, all of this could have been avoided because they didn't have to air it. It happened months ago, and then they wait until they get the ratings that they wanted, and now they want to seem like they're doing the right thing. Okay, I'm done.
So do you think there was a colorism aspect to it? And Mike is going to go, because Mike gave me and Mike had a whole conversation about this, and Mike gave me a history lesson on Erica because I was just going off like this is ridiculous. But Mike gave me a whole history lesson, so he gonna tie it up with a nice bow. Shout out to Kevin, just hit the panel. So Nene, do you think it has something? Do you think there was an aspect of colorism in here? Because when we watched the second episode, you had Kirk, and let's just call it what it is. You had all the darker friends. Oh my gosh, she said black monkey. Oh, you can't say that, which I kept telling you I had a problem with because they fist fight one another. They call each other all type of bitches and whores and sluts, and they call each other the worst filth in the world. And because she said blue, referencing her hair and the fact that she loves to wear blue, and called her a monkey, I'm sorry, I just don't see no issue in that. That's why I think that it had colorism to do with it. Hey, y'all bring on the coon, because I know it's coming. Bring it on.
I think for that, what they tried to play more on is racism for that. Not so much necessarily the colorism in that aspect. Obviously, although it looks that way more because she is lighter skinned, I think they played more on the racism thing for that.
All right. Shaka, what you got on this?
I got a lot. It's so many different topics that we could talk about based upon that clip alone. So kind of piggybacking off of everybody, do I feel like colorism played a part in it? Not so much for Erica versus what's her name? Spice. But I feel like because who's the producer? Is it Mona? Is she the producer? I feel like because she's dark skinned or, you know, darker, that it affected her. Because maybe, like I said earlier, I feel like is colorism, you know, does it still play a part? It does. It affects some of us more so than others, or, you know, vice versa. So I feel like she was fired because maybe someone took it really personal versus, you know, hearing everybody in the comments in the chat, oh, you know, she need to be gone. But I also feel as if, yes, Erica does have a past of using slurs. I don't know if it's more so the monkey slur, but she's used several, because Erica has been doing this, you know, back when the Kardashians had a store Dash on South Beach. Okay, before, you know, they had their little show of Kardashians, there was like, I think it was Chloe and Kim or two of the sisters or whatever. So Courtney and Chloe Take on Miami or something like that. So Erica used to work for them at that store, and she got into it with, you know, customers. She got into it with them. Erica has been disrespectful over the course of her whatever, but Erica has also been disrespected over the course. And I agree, there is no fighting fair, especially if you bring it up my child. I don't care what context you bring it up in. If we're in a negative situation and we're arguing and we're going, you know, toe to toe, all gloves are off. There are no rules in arguing. This is not a court of law. This is on the street, and we're going to handle this, you know, how we do in the streets. And I think Ricardo put up a comment, why do Black women act the way that they act or whatever, you know, on these shows? It's their situation. I think Drake had he had a line in one of his songs, I think it was from the album Views, where he said, we live in the same building, but we got different views. Like, I could grow up with you on you know, I'm from Lauderdale, you know. Shout out to those from Tater Town, you know. I would do. Um, However, just because I grew up, you know, in the hood or the ghetto or whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean I have to act that way. As an adult, it's a choice at this point. You know, you can go and do what you want to do and fight everybody because they looked at you wrong or they said something about this and they said something about that. I may not. I may just want to press charges, you know, because I got a lot to lose. The worst thing you can do is argue and fight with somebody who has absolutely nothing to lose. I feel like because Spice put her in that position of saying your child hates you, yeah, it was wrong for Erica to say, I wish you should have died on that table. But come on, nobody, God, y'all know, Trevor and Nene, y'all know what y'all went through with your daughter. From the moment you found out you was pregnant up until, you know, you delivered and then some. You understand? Regardless of what you and I share, if we're no longer friends and we're trying to make amends or have a conversation, and I say something really stupid or dumb out of my mouth that's negative towards your kid, y'all can't tell me just because, oh, we got a history in Shaka Cool, y'all gonna let that slide. Y'all gonna check me. Maybe not in the way that Erica and Spice checked each other, but still, I'm gonna get checked as I should. But I just feel like, too, yeah, she said blue monkey. Okay, maybe she do feel like Spice look like a monkey. Okay, I get it. But still, when you start to say the phrase monkey, I don't care what you say before it, black, blue, yellow, purple, whatever, it goes back to that whole now it's a racial thing. But I also feel like, you know, Erica has laid up with enough men of color, you understand, to feel as if maybe she can get a pass with saying certain things, you know, because I'm not going to lie. I have certain friends who are not African American who are Puerto Rican or Dominican or whatever, and they use the N word. And depending on, because I know them, I'm not always bothered by it. But like I said, it's a million conversations that can come from just that one clip. So maybe Erica felt like, okay, we want to talk about my son. I'm gonna talk about the way you look. She used monkey. Maybe in the heat of the argument, she wasn't thinking. I don't know. I'm not Erica. Maybe she meant it. Maybe she meant it as a racial slur. I don't know. But I just feel like neither. If somebody was going to get fired, they both should have got fired. Or
Okay.
maybe
Well,
use
hold
this
on.
as a learning opportunity.
Okay, 1 second, because I want to just keep the round table going, and
Okay.
before Mike comes on, Keela keeps putting this comment in the chat. Keela, the link is in the chat if you want to come up. Keela says
Come on, Keela.
it's different when it's racism. Monkey is used as a racial slur. Remember that. Ricardo says definitely monkey is a historical racial slur by white people. Remember that. Michelle, shout out to Michelle. Michelle says, hey, chat, Erica could have been fired because she's not making movies. I saw her in a movie on Tubi. Shout out to Tubi. Yeah, we watch Tubi all the time. So
they might be firing her from that too, though.
So, oh, see, that's ridiculous. So Keela and Ricardo keep bringing up that monkey is a racial slur, and that could have led to the reason why. But I'm pretty sure Erica didn't call somebody a nigger. I'm pretty sure all the Latino people, I'm pretty sure all the Latino people that they've had on that show done called people niggers or worse. So it again, to me, it just doesn't fly. All I see is there's an outcry because light-skinned woman called a darker skinned woman a blue monkey. We can't keep forgetting that. Blue monkey, referencing her hair, and now is World War III. We want to get her canceled, but yet still all the bitches and hoes and niggas and everything, and talk bad about your kids and all the fighting, and that's not bad enough. That no, let's not fire her for that, but let's fire her because she said monkey. Mike,
can I say something though before Mike goes? 2 seconds. Not even so much in Spice's defense, but Shaka, you made a good point. When someone talks about your child, yes, all bets are off. I don't care what I say to you. But did she talk about her child, or did she speak on the fact that her son does not like her?
She just said that's why your son.
Yeah, she said your son hates you.
Yeah.
I think Erica acted the way she did because Spice spoke a truth that she didn't want spoken about. But it's the same thing that the guy had said to her. Your son doesn't even talk to you. You don't even communicate with your son. However, they stated it. And I'm not saying that Spice should have mentioned her child at all. But what I'm saying is if we're going to speak on, like you said, Trevor and Nene went through a lot to get Miss Leia here. And for someone to mention her at all, yeah, don't do that. Don't play like that. Don't get your feelings hurt. But Spice literally almost died on that table. And you're talking about I should have died? It's like,
You can't talk about my child. I wouldn't care. I
I
mean,
didn't talk
all
about your
bets
child. I
off.
said
I
your
mean, it's
child don't like you.
horrible.
All right,
But
right.
right, but don't say that.
Hold on.
Don't say that.
We're gonna get back to it. I gotta get the mic because Mike been
I'm sorry,
waiting
Mike.
patiently.
I've been good.
Mike, you got a shirt on? Yeah. Mike.
I'll put it
Don't
back
forget
on.
I'm here.
Oh yeah, Kev. Oh yeah, but Mike's been waiting. So let Mike get in, and then we'll get to you, Kev.
Well,
My cousin Kevin.
The good one. So there's a reason I went last. Well, I wanted to go last because I had all those points to make, but the ladies jumped on the majority of them. So I can just focus on mine. And the one I wanted to get on is it's cool to act like I'm one of the people. You know, I'm on a white show. I say totally tubular or whatever. Spanish people like to come in our culture and they say a lot of things. If they grew up with a lot of us in the hood, they say the N-word a lot. But you've never seen a black person on a Spanish show say anything close to, why don't you clean up my floor with spick and span? We don't do that. Okay? You can't go on a black network and say something insensitive about black people and not expect some kind of backlash. Like, this is a show about, you've never heard anybody on that show of this skin color call another person of this skin color a monkey, because monkey is specific racism to us. When they wanted to get to LeBron, they put monkey on his driveway. When they wanted to talk about he's like a King Kong, when they want to say the little whistle words, they know what they're doing. You've never heard us say, hey, what up, my monkey? What up, Curious George? Like, we don't joke like that, because monkey's not one of those words. Now, nigga, that's one thing. And Erica Mena, I'm sure she said nigga a million times. Let me ask you a question. Any of y'all heard her say nigga on that show? The answer is no, because she knows she's on a black platform. And if you're on a black platform, you act accordingly. You can get away with a bunch of stuff, but there's some lines you don't cross. Monkey is on the other side of that line. Now, should she have been fired? I don't think so, but let's be clear. Love and Hip Hop is about two things. One, destroying the black community, and two, money. And those two things cannot stand up against what she did. You can't have a bunch of angry black women going, who the hell is Heifer calling monkey? And still sell them the show. They had to do something. Now, what I think is hypocritical is they waited until the show dropped to fire her when they knew she said that how many months ago? They knew that, but they wanted the bombastity. They wanted everybody to see, and then they wanted everybody to see, hey, we fired her because the bad girl said something. You know what I'm saying? She should have been, and she did lose a job on Tubi, like the stepmom thing or whatever it is. She lost that. That's gone. I'm not a fan of the witch hunt. I say they should have got rid of her before the season started, and then put the disclaimers like, we don't like racist language. We also don't like people talking about each other's kids, but let's be clear. That's par for the course when it comes to women on these shows. I've heard many women. There was a whole season on Black Ink where they talked about they made the whole storyline out of what's the name kids. And then the kids ended up on the show. That's why your kids don't love you. I love my kid. That's why I gave him for adoption. Now the kids on the show getting a check. That's the whole thing. They talk about each other kids. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying know your audience. Dave Chappelle don't go in front of white people and do all Trump jokes. He sprinkle a couple and then go back to the stuff that they like. Know your audience. She's an adult. She has black children. Monkey should never come out of your mouth unless you're at the zoo. That's all I got to say. Go ahead, Kev J.
So hold on, because this is very interesting, Mike. So what role does the colorism aspect play in it? Because Ricardo even says he's tired of all this BS fake outcry, and I'm almost certain that it's. I say I'm gonna come off sounding really bad, but whatever. So it's darker skinned women, or what's perceived as darker skinned women. The one that's all up in arms about this.
Well, I don't know how long you've been watching Love and Hip Hop, but
Haven't watched it in years.
Okay, well, I used to be married, so I had to watch it. I have a couple things burned into my mind. They had like a whole 5-6 episode long, one season of Amara La Negra talking about her Afro-Latinism and how proud she was to be black, and that's why she keeps her afro, even though it's been gone since she's trying to make some money, but I ain't gonna talk about it. I'm just so proud, and he's right. It's hypocritical and it's full of crap. Don't get me wrong, but it is what it is. When I say black, I mean dark-skinned women have been getting hell since we were children. I know it. I've had to sit down with people and talk to them. Baby girl, you beautiful. What's wrong with you? Don't do that. Oh, all right. I ain't gonna touch that. But I've had to sit down and talk to them all the time. Hey, you're gorgeous. No, I'm not. They said I look like charcoal. Girl, charcoal starting to fight. Like, you don't even understand the conversations I had. There's a reason I talk this much. I've always had to be the guy who was like building up my female friend. That's why I tell people I love women. Like, I don't like guys. The only male friends I have in my life are on these shows. You feel me? So it's like they're very sensitive when it comes to that. Very sensitive. And in the world we live in, women are allowed to be outrageous with their sensitivity. When I say outrageous, I mean out loud. I don't mean like you can't be sensitive about that. I mean they're allowed to be out bombastic with their sensitivity. Men can't, but women can. And if you're gonna be on a show for women, by women, FUBU in the house, and you're gonna say something that's gonna prick at that balloon of sensitivity, you gotta take what come with it. Matter of fact, who watches Tubi? Ain't that mostly black people? And who decided the movie for black men? Ain't that mostly black women? Why you think she got fired so fast? You can't do that. You must know your audience. Black women ain't. It took. And this is just me personally. So I'm not saying for all black women. I know personally black women that it took them from 6 years old to deep in their late 30s to start loving their skin and loving themselves. You think they came all this way to hear some light-skinned Puerto Rican heifer call her a monkey? They're not gonna play with it. You're gonna get off the show. It is what it is. Sorry.
But yet and still they're good with them calling them nigger. I'm just saying, just let's keep it consistent all the way around.
My G, there's only one Spanish person I know that get to say the N-word like that, like it's water, and that's Fat Joe. I don't know no other Spanish people that's famous that get to say the N-word like that. Do you know another one? Case in point. Think it kindly. And Fat Joe been a nigga since he was a little kid selling drugs in the Bronx on the block. So ain't nobody gonna stop him. So he gonna say what he say.
So Michelle brings up a point, and I do want to head this way after Kevin. Kevin, what you got on this?
Oh, it's Michelle.
My cousin Kevin.
Thank you.
My bad. Mike was muted. Honestly, I didn't watch the show, and I've only seen bits and pieces of the controversy going around. But I will say it does smack of one of the ism, whether you call it colorism, racism, because it is in that vein and dynamic. But what it does also illustrate for me, again, which is something you guys have been talking about on the show, is it's a prime example of, again, not to make it about a woman issue, but an example of how when women do not learn how to control themselves emotionally, you get to saying things that then causes more hurt and damage in the long run.
And Kevin, you done already crossed over to the dark side. Just say it. Don't let these women intimidate you. Go ahead and say it.
Yo, I wanted to say something that somebody said earlier, but I didn't want to step in it. Go ahead, Kevin, step on. I got some symbols for you.
That is a prime example of where the lack of self-emotional control of a woman leads to a complete destruction of her potential financial livelihood, relationship, dynamic, or whatever the case may be. Because let's be honest, what does it say about you as an individual to where it's okay that, hey, yeah, we all know you get in a fight, you trying to go the low blow, but to think about going into the Rolodex of words to call somebody a monkey, that's not in my dictionary of what insult I'm using. So what does that say about you, the individual who throws that word out there as an adjective to try and describe and be insulting to another woman, much less a Black woman?
I respect what everybody on the panel has to say. To me, let's call it what it is. White people look more like monkeys than Black people ever do. So it's just like you just can't. I don't identify with it. Like, I mean,
that's the point. That's the point I'm making. That's not something most normal people would think to use as a insulting word to pull out to throw at another Black person. I'm gonna talk about how you look, what you're wearing, whatever. Fine, all of that. Hey. But to go into the Rolodex and pull out the word monkey, yeah, that says more about you a lot.
So real quick, Kevin, because I'm glad that we're having this show, because just to hear, I definitely like to hear from the women's perspective. But I would just want to read something that Scrappy said. So Scrappy, when asked about this, he said it was a bozo move. On behalf of the production, because according to the rapper and reality star, they set the confrontation up between the cast members for ratings. So how, and again, I'm known for not watching this. So how do you know that the production team didn't say, hey, we're going to amplify this a whole bunch? And in the heat of the battle, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong.
I get the point of view that person is saying. That's the point of all of these shows, is to instigate controversy for rating. I get that, but what does it say about you, the woman, in that moment, in the controversy, that you think the most insulting thing you can say to describe this other woman that's a Black woman is to call her a monkey?
It shouldn't even be in the Rolodex.
It should not even be in the Rolodex if racism and colorism ain't at the foundation of who you are.
Let's speak on the colorism, Kevin, because Kevin, we know colorism is very prevalent in our family. So let's speak on the colorism. So I want to move off from Erica and Spice, and I want to get into this conversation that Michelle did, because she's saying Spice had a storyline when she was going to bleach her skin. She felt that light-skinned people got better breaks. So I don't know. Again, I don't watch it, but I'm not going to say it didn't happen. So Kevin, notoriously, we know in our family, me and you are blood cousins. Our dads are brothers. That colorism runs rampant in our family. So speak to the colorism aspect.
I mean, let's back it up. It's not even about our family. Colorism runs rampant in our culture. We're Jamaicans, we're Caribbean. Colorism is a worldwide epidemic. Asians deal with it. All kind of different ethnicities deal with it, because again, the idea that the closer to whiteness you appear to be, the easier your life is in this culture and society. And for a lot of people that may be true, and that is definitely true for a lot of people. But
so this is where everybody could join. I just wanted everybody to get their initial points in, so now everybody could join in and crosstalk, and we'll just kind of banter around this situation, because Kevin did say this, the cultural aspect of it. I want to hear from everybody though, just specifically. We got women on the panel, and Kevin, as a man, and young Kev too, unmute your mic. As a man, do you guys feel like you've ever been a victim of colorism? Mike said it perfectly earlier, the light skin, and I wish I could put this picture up that author sent me. It's crazy, but do you guys think as men that you've ever had to deal with colorism before?
We have.
I'm gonna say
and I'm not talking about racism. I'm talking about strictly colorism from a light-skinned dude.
Actually, I've had a colorism experience where you know what my brother looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Where a person saw me and my brother and they could not believe he was my brother because he was of a darker skin tone.
Same situation.
That is colorism.
Interesting.
If you cannot believe that my complexion, which is more from medium brown, and my brother, who's a little bit darker, same mother, same father, spit out two kids that look differently, and you are perplexed that, oh my God, I couldn't believe you guys are brothers because your skin looks so different. Get the fuck out of here.
You owe me $10 by the way. Mike brought it up earlier from 6 years old. Like, and you brought up your brother. You and your brother is darker than you, and I'm darker than my brother. My brother's probably closer to Shaka's complexion than he is to mine. So, but again, we've never dealt with that. It was like y'all brothers, cool. Like that's what that like. So pardon me being naive here a little bit as dealing with it from a male point of view. I've definitely seen it growing up, and we're gonna touch on that. But Kev, you personally dealt with colorism?
So I can't say I've ever seen it or I've dealt with it. To me, I see people having issues with whether or not they're attractive or not. Like I see people have pretty privilege, and then I see people who don't get the same advantages because they're kind of ugly or they're kind of dusty looking. That's what I see. Because color. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I thought you were done. I just want to go around the table.
But
with colorism, the way I see it, like it's a mental thing to where like you feel like you're not as good as somebody else because of
I
your
agree,
skin.
Kev. I agree so much.
Not to say like there's,
but here's a question. Can we challenge you a minute on your point?
That's a good Kevin versus Kevin war.
You said for you the idea of colorism is people who look dusty. But would you use that to describe a light-skinned person or a darker-skinned person? The person that you view as dusty.
I seen both. Dusty, musty, crusty.
I'm gonna call bullshit.
Thank you,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Thank you,
bullshit
cousin
on that.
Kevin.
Y'all women jump in because they all did the Hulk Hogan ears.
I'm going to call bullshit on that. 9 times out of 10, when you're sitting there describing someone as dusty,
it's always darker.
It's always 9 times out of 10 more geared towards the person who is of a darker shade.
I want to challenge something, but I don't want to talk to Kevin because Kevin get on
I
my nerves.
want to know who he feels like. What did he say? It's if you think you're unattractive or not. So in that statement, who were you picturing? Like, do you feel like darker skinned people complain more because they feel like they're being discriminated against or having colorism issues, and it's really because they think they're unattractive? I'm just trying to make sure I'm not misunderstanding what you're saying.
Break the cape.
Well, it's definitely a mental thing in America. But before I was interrupted, it's definitely prevalent like outside in other countries, like Asia. So like China, they have their issues with dark skinned people. Europe,
they have their issues with dark skinned people, meaning what?
Like racism type issues. But I've never been in those situations. I just know they're racist, or they have their racist tendencies. Let me not say it like that.
Yeah, I have friends that
it's definitely prevalent in the Hispanic culture because they have this whole thing like if you watch Telemundo and stuff, you can clearly see they like light skin over dark skin. So they have their battles over there. But in America, like I said, I think people see black people. I don't think there's like a whole colorism race war. Like the light skinned person is going to get the job as opposed to a dark skinned person. Yes, I've seen homeless people who are light
I was
skinned.
with you. I was with you.
He
before.
young, y'all.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is why I don't listen.
hey,
I don't
wait.
know why y'all listen
How
to
old is
Kevin,
he?
Kevin.
No, hold on. Mike had a question for him,
Can I
though. But
No,
Kev,
I
finish
just
the
have
point,
I
Kev.
don't ever want to listen to Kev. I don't ever want to talk to
Hold
Kev.
on, Mike. Hold on, because I want you to answer me your question. Kev,
Hold
finish
on.
your point, though. Finish your point, though.
Me?
Gonna say, but yeah, with white people, like there's poor white people and they look dusty and crusty. You don't have any issues with them, whether they're ginger or whether they're brunette or blonde.
Oh, to live in young
Digging-
Kev's world.
How young? How young is he? How
Kev, 30. You 30, right,
Younger
Kev?
age.
Hold on.
29.
Oh,
Okay.
29. That's same damn difference.
Younger
Here's a
than his
question.
age. He got a
Here's a-
12-year-old brain.
that's old enough to know that that's BS. But I mean,
Yeah.
Here's
Okay,
a
let me
question for
I
Kevin.
finish my
told
point
you
real
it ain't
quick.
that.
Kev.
Here's a
Hold on,
question
hold on.
for
Let me
Kevin.
finish real quick. Let me finish. I'm almost done. Like one more sentence. But yeah, you can see the difference between someone who's attractive and not attractive. Like, let a dude give you a compliment and you think he's crusty.
Don't do it,
Like,
Kev.
"Ew,
Don't
get
do
away
it.
from me." A good looking dude give that
Don't
same
do it,
compliment.
Kev. Don't do
Giving
it.
him his number. I promise. All right, go ahead.
All right,
I'm
Kevin,
trying
I
to
have a
save
question
you.
for
Don't
you.
do it.
No. I have a question for him. Because I've never seen him. So here's a quick question. Are you considered more on the lighter skin side of the world or the darker skin side of the world?
Me and Kev the same color. Kev,
You're a
turn
little
your
lighter
camera
than me.
on.
I'm darker than Mike's shirt. No, I'm
Stop
kidding.
lying.
Get out of here.
All right.
That's
Lighter
Kev
than
in the bottom right hand corner of the overlay. It's an
Okay.
old picture, but that's Kev.
Right.
So here's a question. Do you have a brother?
Yeah, he's dark skinned.
Okay, here's a question for you. Have you ever been told that you're light skinned and because of your shade, you're going to get all of the girls?
No.
So your mama or your aunties, they never said that to you?
No, they tell me to cut my hair. But
Huh?
no, they tell me to cut my hair, but no, there's my skin color's never been an issue.
And you're African American?
No, I'm Haitian.
You are Haitian, light skinned, and you're telling me your aunties or mamas ain't never said to you that you're gonna get all of the girls?
Kevin, you cannot get the truth out of him. He's never
Okay.
going to as the case.
Kevin,
we're not.
Kevin,
Can we just move
please
ahead?
understand something.
Hey, and y'all not going to interrogate young Kev like
No,
that.
no. I'm not. Wait.
Where his world is.
Wait.
If I want to talk to him, I'll call him. I
No.
don't ever want to talk to him on here.
But Kevin, all I want you to understand is that is a form of colorism that most light-skinned men experience. So as a Haitian person who is light-skinned, talking to a Jamaican, ain't no bumbleclot way y'all tell me say you're not your
All right, you know what I'm talking about then. What are you talking
That was a Jamaican.
Hold on.
All right,
Go
Mike,
back on y'all
ask him your question, Mike. I
I don't even want to ask it. I want to say this. If you want to see how colorism can has affected us and has hurt us, even though Kevin says it white people don't see it, which is nuts because they invented it. And if you ever see them about a scary black guy, it's always he was big and black. It's not he was big and caramel. He was big and black, but I'm not even gonna go there. What I want to tell y'all is the greatest rapper of the era went on a campaign against dark women. And everybody was trying to get themselves lighter just because Lil Wayne kept saying, I bet that bitch look better red. Y'all don't remember that?
That's self-hate.
I'm not talking to you, sir. You go sit in the corner.
Hold on. Okay, I have a question though, and it's probably because I'm old, but I thought he meant red as in like gang stuff. He could have meant skin tone. I wouldn't care. It
was a metaphor. It was dual, but trust me, in more than one song, all he kept saying, I bet she look better light skin. I bet.
And you think dark skinned women were trying to bleach their skin for Lil Wayne?
No. Whoa. First off, if I want to talk about
bad baby mamas, though.
First of all, that was funny. Second off, if I want to talk about black girls bleaching their skin, I'll talk about Vibes Cartel. That's a whole nother subject. We ain't gonna go there because there was a whole culture of people that was trying to cake soap their ass up to try to look like them.
I have been dark my whole life. I did not, and you spoke on it, Mike. I'm not gonna say I was in my 30s. I was well into my 20s before I started appreciating my skin. When I was in middle school, my sister is very light. My sister is probably a little lighter than Shaka. My mother is as well. They would tell me, God left you in the oven too long. Look
Yeah.
how pretty your sister is, and you black and crunchy, and like I hated my skin when I was younger. I honestly, in my 20s, was looking for ways to bleach my skin and not be pink and orange like a lot of people when they overdo it. I honestly wanted to do it. It took me years to be like, no, you're not doing that to yourself. I think it was after I started having children and I had these beautiful black babies, and I'm like, look at their beautiful skin. Why is it that I see the beauty in their chocolate skin but not in mine? And then it was like, oh, it's there. Look, you're beautiful in chocolate. There's nothing for you to do.
Yeah.
Some people don't see that about themselves, though.
It's big part of the reason why most of the women I've dated are dark. Like I used to watch yellow bones or red bones get so much attention growing up, and I just look at them like, why she look good too, and they'd be like, nah, bro, look at Shorty over there. Like,
it
I
is real.
I'm gonna holler and find Shorty over there.
Nene, oh, Shaka, yeah, Shaka, get in there.
I have a different. I mean, I hear what y'all are saying. It absolutely exists. Colorism didn't really play a huge part for me until I had my daughter. So those of you who either follow me on Instagram or you've seen pictures of her or you've met her in person, her father is mixed with her grandfather, her paternal grandfather is black, and then her grandmother is Caucasian. So my daughter, look, she could pass for Spanish, she could pass for white, she could pass for light skin, yellow, red, high up, whatever you want to call her. But I didn't experience colorism until I had her. When I'll never forget, I was in Target, excuse me, in Hollywood, and this lady came up to me, and my daughter had to be about, I don't know, 6, 7 months, and they were like, "Oh my God, are you the nanny?" I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
Right. Huh?
Yep.
And I mean, and when my daughter, even, recently in college, she literally said that either people immediately speak. We just took her car to get fixed at Toyota, and this one woman literally walked up to her and started speaking Spanish because she just assumed that she's Spanish. And she walked away like, "I don't speak Spanish." People will ask her, "Where are your parents from?" And she's like, "From here." They're like, "No, like, where's here? Like America?" "Yeah, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, born and raised, both of them." "Oh, so no island, no like Puerto Rico?" "No, your mother's black." "Yeah, black." So regardless of his mother being white, that's just what it is. But what is that?
You coming in and out, Shaka.
I thought it was me.
She looks, they automatically judge her as being. Oh, I'm sorry, a call came in. People just judge her based upon her looks. That either her parents are white or Spanish. Now, for me personally, I have cousins who are darker. I have cousins who are lighter. And I've heard those comments with my darker skinned cousins where you was left in the oven too long, or oh, you was out there in the field. Shaka must have been on the porch somewhere. If she ain't even master's child. Like, these are the things, and it didn't really dawn on me what it meant. And as far as like in high school or middle school or whatever with dating, I guess I was just insecure. So I wouldn't say it was because I was a little bit darker than most or whatever. I was just, insecure with myself. I didn't know what I had going on, but I can't say that colorism played a part for me because I guess I am lighter. It wasn't until high school when I started, really getting to know Nene that, colorism was a thing, because people would say, "Oh, she's cute for a dark skinned girl." I'd be like, "Yeah, you are cute for a dark skinned girl," not knowing that was offensive, my own ignorance, and then it took, I think, just a brief conversation, and it was like, why I gotta be because I'm dark skinned? Why I just can't be pretty because I'm a girl? Like, and I was like, I never thought about it like that. So I get where y'all are coming from, but for me, it didn't really play a part. But when I had my child, that's when I realized, wait, what the hell? What? The nanny?
My family. Our family.
Just to piggyback off of that point.
Yeah.
Kevin showed chatty tonight, right?
Listen, other things are going on. To just piggyback off of that point, to show you, to exemplify for Kevin the other Kevin on the panel,
Don't.
how colorism works. That example, take my brother for example. Again, my brother is dark skinned, married to a lighter skinned woman with 3 beautiful kids. The 2 of his kids, every time he takes them out, people wonder if they are the kid's father because the kids are lighter skinned and he is darker.
Who is that coming from, though?
Other people.
Everybody, I'm
So
sure. It
can
doesn't
you
matter.
imagine?
No.
No, but hear me out.
Who is that coming from? White people or black people?
Both.
Both. But what I'm
Both.
saying is, here's an
More black, I'm
example.
sure.
Here is an example of where you walk into the store with your children and the store goes into lockdown because they may think you're trying to kidnap them.
That happened to me once. Yep.
That is not a form of racism.
Mm-hmm.
That is a form of colorism where the idea that your darker skin could not have given the DNA to birth. That's an example of experiencing colorism. That a lot of us
can I just real
would never
quick?
examine.
Oh, go ahead.
Keela put the definition, because I got to hear from Nene. Keela put the definition of colorism: prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically amongst people of the same ethnic or racial group. That's why I asked you the question, who is that coming from? Because we know white people have no couth. White people are the same people that'll see my wife's locks and want to touch them. They'll see Breezy's locks and want to touch them. White people don't have no shame about themselves.
Or they'll ask to buy your cute black baby.
Yeah.
Right.
but when black people do that, somebody offered to buy her baby, but that's another story. When
all I wanted to do was punch her in the face. That's the problem.
When black people do that, that's where I can see the colorism, because they're like, that's when they're doing that light skin hate. Nene, add to the, because I want to move on to something else just because I see the time running down.
I like that Shaka brought up that instance about, because I was going to say that about the pretty for a black girl, because young Kev was like, it's a mental thing. You don't feel good about yourself or whatever. Growing up, I heard that a lot. Either you're pretty for a black girl, or you would be pretty if you were lighter.
If you were lighter. Mm-hmm.
Like, I've gotten both of those. So that's not me being insecure about myself. Like, I did have my own insecurities because I was like as skinny as a toothpick, but they ain't had nothing to do with my color. But being told that you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, or just telling me I'm pretty, or you would be, oh, you'll be pretty, you'll be bad if you were a red bone or whatever. That's not me being insecure. That is a form of colorism, and that's something that is real and that we have to deal with, and it's still happening. So I just need to put that out there, young Kev.
So now you and you say you were skinny as a toothpick. Now you're thicker than racial tension in America. So see, it all worked out good. But listen, because Breezy wanted to touch on this, and I want all the ladies on the panel to touch on this. Growing up, again, and I'll just say my ignorance in this matter. Growing up, black. When I'm thinking of dark, like none of y'all on here is dark skinned. Still, as a 43-year-old man, again, this is not a conversation me and my wife don't have all the time. I'm like, where the hell do y'all think dark skin? When I think of dark skin, I'm thinking of like dark skin. Growing up in the 80s, you saw some dark skinned people. So when I'm hearing when I see y'all talking about y'all dark skin, I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
So you know what happened? You know what happened with that, Trevor? When we were younger, we went to summer camp. We were outside on the track team and cheerleading practice and different things like that. So we were in the sun a lot. And I say that because like my son right now, my second born, he's dark skinned. He's my complexion, but now he's playing football. So he's outside in the hottest part of the day in that sun and it's cooking him. So he is good in chocolate right now. And I love it. I think it's beautiful. But he's the complexion that you're talking about, that people will pick on and say he's crispy, and like that our family members that don't even realize they're creating these insecurities would say things like that. So I think that's the skin tone you're talking about. I know what you're saying, but that's because now as adults we go to work and we come home, or we're in our car. We're not too much out in the sun getting beat down like the sun used to do us back in the day when we were younger.
We
We
we all
outside
grew
at
up in the
night.
80s. We all grew
We
up in the
outside at
80s.
night.
And Mike is a notorious cracker. Mike, we all knew the jokes. You so black when you get out the car, your oil light come on. So like that's the type of stuff we think about. Growing up cracking in our neighborhood, we would never crack on y'all and say that y'all were black. Like we had women that we considered like black. So Keela puts in the chat 31 in reference, I forget who said it, when they became comfortable with their skins. I want to talk about that. And this is where I agree with Kev. I don't agree with Kev with all the other shit he was saying, because Kev likes to impose white people in the conversation all the time. This is where I do agree with him that we can't look at it and say that it doesn't have something to do with some type of mental issue, because, and I'm not saying like mental like crazy, but Queen Breezy said it. And Nene, you've been pretty if you were light skinned, or how come your sisters are prettier to you because they're lighter than you? That's all mental shit just being ingrained in you. So now I'm saying, like, as y'all older, don't y'all think y'all still holding on to some of that mental slavery, basically, that made y'all not appreciate the skin that you were in? Because notoriously, I don't like light-skinned women. I tell my wife all the time, I don't think light-skinned women are beautiful. I don't think they look good. Like I just don't.
I waited for her face to jump in the camera. I was waiting.
But again, to me, Shaka is not.
I'm not light skinned.
When I'm thinking about
my daughter,
I'm thinking of like
my daughter,
like Lotto and stuff like that. Though, like those are I consider them like light skinned women. Shaka is just a nice brown skinned woman. Like to me, I don't get it.
But here's
yeah, let's yeah, y'all go.
Here's what I would add. I think from my observation, where the discrepancy comes in is you may not view the shade as light skin, you just consider them as brown skin, but other men, other people, other black individuals, for them, that shade is a shade too dark. And with it being a shade too dark, and then the actions behind them not liking that shade being too dark is where we then venture into that space of, yeah. Because and to piggyback off of your point, some of it is mental, but it does take time to, when you become an adult, to emotionally grow out of that and build up your self-confidence and your value of self and the self-worth of your image. But it takes a while, because if the person that you are living with at home is your mama or your daddy, and they saying to you throughout your entire childhood, you would be better if, that is going to have a destructive impact on your mental for years to come until you address it. That is true.
Tenuous, Trevor, because we're the first generation to have the opportunity to grow out of it or to better ourselves or to thinking out, because every generation before us was saying that foolishness, and every other country, not this one, they still do that. I know ladies, no, you can't be in the sun, you're gonna get dark, stay inside. They still do that in other countries. Some people still do that in the South here.
They still do it here. So
y'all look at that comment. Y'all look at that comment on the screen.
What am I going like saying? No, never mind. No, stop.
But
Kevin, I mean, Mike, finish what you were saying.
I'm just saying, like, you know what it is? I think when it comes to you, Trev, you don't have many things to attack, because you fit status quo in America for what a man's supposed to look like, supposed to be like, supposed to act like. You know what I'm saying? You don't have if unless you grow that missing hairline back, Even white women are gonna be like, oh, look at he chocolate, look at the hair, look at the big, you know what I'm saying? So you don't really see, you just going through life as you like, hey, I feel like I'm the alpha male, I'm out here doing it. You don't get to see the other side. Same thing with, no disrespect, same thing with Shaka. Shaka doesn't see what she doesn't experience. So she don't see what the dark girls are going through. She just knows she's living in her light-skinned world. Or her light bright, she ain't light-skinned, her deliciously brown self-world. Okay. So me being who I am, my bad. Me being who I am, I've always felt like I was in the other class, hence the name. Everybody, other.com is coming. I've always felt like an other. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a New Yorker in Florida. So New Yorkers was like, oh, New Yorkers was like, you a Floridian. Floridians was like, you ain't from here. You know what I'm saying? Then I was a Jamaican. They were like, you ain't really Jamaican. Like you was over, like, you know what I used to go through, like people telling me I'm none of them. I'm already chubby, so I can't be with the athletic dudes, even though I was running track with them sometimes. They was like, damn, he ran a 5.0. He was big. He was moving. I said, I've never felt like I fit in anywhere. So I always see my others. I was the only dude that played football and was playing Magic cards in the back with the nerds. Like I've always been on team other. So I always see other people's struggles. Always have, always will. It's my natural dissenter and it's my natural position. So that's why you'll never see it. That's why Kevin will never see it, because Kevin puts his blinders on like, well, my life is going good, so everybody else should just do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't work like that.
But I feel like this. I can agree with what you said, Mike, about, I may not see it because true, it doesn't affect me like it may affect or it has affected Nene and, Bridget or anyone else, who've experienced the, being darker or not, as light, or you should be lighter or red bone or whatever. But let's talk about the dating aspect. Now, middle school, when I started to like the little boys and the little boys started liking me back, I dated, whoever liked me. But my preference at a certain time in my life was the light skin with the pretty eyes, the good hair. They got to have the Indian in their family. You know how we are. I was all for that. And then they shall remain nameless. Then this dark chocolate, tall thing then came into my life. And then I went by the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yes, because now that is my preference. But I can't say that I was in my 20s when I realized that I cared more for, lighter skin or darker skin guy. It just got to a point where whoever decided to treat me better. But I think I was more aware of the light skins acting funny, so I'm gonna leave them alone. I'm gonna go over here to the dark world. So I know that part of colorism played an effect in my dating life.
When you went over to the dark world, you became a blue chip player.
So the light brights do act crazy, but let me say this.
Yeah.
So, dating, it's always been touchy for me, but for so many reasons. Yes, because of my dark skin, but also because I've always been a big girl for all of my adult life, but also because I'm 6'2". So a lot of those things play a part. Like
Mike G tall.
I'm gonna say Mike had.
Yeah, Mike G.
Mike say.
I'm like, okay.
So it's like,
I'm gonna put Breezy on you. Say something. I'm gonna get Breezy. Say something, Mike.
And that's one of the main misconceptions right there. People think just because you really tall and you big that you tough.
You can fight, right?
Like, you are not the
They don't know that, Breezy.
I don't do that.
Yeah, don't be telling everybody.
I will, no, because I'll shoot you. I'm not gonna fight you. I'll shoot you. I don't do that. But it's like those are just misconceptions that I think in society, it's ingrained in us, and then we pass it along without realizing it. Like my daughter is my complexion, maybe a little bit lighter than me, but she's pretty much my complexion. I don't tell her she's a pretty chocolate girl. I'll tell her she's beautiful. You're pretty. You're a pretty girl. I don't pin it to her chocolateness, but her younger brother is your complexion. And he likes to speak on her complexion because kids are still doing it. Believe it or not, kids are still doing it. He likes to talk about her complexion. And like I said, her brother is even darker. And I get on him every time because you're not going to do it. You get absolutely nothing extra or special because you happen to have a lighter skinned father who lightens your skin a little bit, because it doesn't make you any better than anybody else. Their skin being darker does not make them any less than anybody else. So it's like we have to make the difference in our kids by making sure they understand you're beautiful because you're beautiful. Regardless of how chocolate you may be, that's an added bonus to some people, and then I don't want my son being lighter to feel like he needs to be slighted because he happens to be lighter. Now, I'll also say this. My fiance is he's the product of what colorism did in the hood. He'll tell everybody he grew up in housing projects. This man is super light skinned with green eyes. Okay? Y'all know how they treated them kids when they were little. The little red boy didn't have to do no chores. The little red boy can get away with murder. The little red boy did no wrong. And he has brought that into his adult life. So having this chocolate woman telling you that you're doing these things wrong, it's like, oh my God, I've never really had to be held accountable before, because his looks got him away with things, because some women look at light skin, tall, beard, green eyes as, oh my God, you can do what you want to do. I'm not one of those. So it's like, we may not mean to, and I don't know anyone personally who I think intentionally pushes colorism on their kids or on their spouse or anything, but when you reap the benefits of it, you don't realize it. It's like an entitlement that you just get comfortable in, and you use it without realizing you're using it. And
True.
I think I am very protective of my darker kids because of what I went through, because of the burnt biscuit, because of all the stuff. And it took a while for me to get out of that, but I'm definitely out of it. But I use it now as a positive to make sure my daughter understands she's beautiful because she's chocolate, not in spite of. But yes, you're beautiful regardless of what your complexion is. We got to keep funneling that into our kids too.
I do the opposite. I tell my baby, don't ever let anybody make you think you cute because you light. I tell all the time, why are you mom? She's like, because I'm smart. I'm like, you damn right. Cat, high five. My baby don't even think about that.
I like that.
Important.
Who said that?
Your arch nemesis. Nina, you wanted to say something?
I don't want it from you.
So let me ask you guys, because I'm just looking here, and again, so Mike, not so much Mike, Ricardo. So Ricardo's in the chat. He could agree to this. Ricardo sends me like, a good amount of pictures on a daily basis. Just pictures of whatever. It could be whatever. Sometimes he'll send me pictures of women like darker, what we're perceiving as darker skinned women, and he'll tell you what my response is. Whenever I see it, I always respond like God or something, like, because to me, I don't mean God like saying like God. I'm saying I'm looking like God. Like when I look at my wife, I'm like God. Like that's God. Like when God. I'm like when God. When God. That's what He intended. You know what I mean? That with that complexion, ain't nobody gonna cut my mic with that complexion and everything. Yeah, I'm looking at she. Hey, listen.
Why Ricardo sending pictures of women?
We got this. We got this.
You ain't gonna get none, my brother. I'm trying to help you. Good Lord.
Y'all messing up my point though. When I see darker skinned women, like when I look at Breezy, to me, Breezy's complexion, Breezy has a nice complexion. Like when I look at it, I'm like, man, that's a nice ass complexion. So I can't wrap it around in my mind. Like, why would a perceived darker skinned woman ever think that their complexion is something to be looked down upon? But Shaka said it. Shaka mentioned this, that she went after the darker guys because growing up she dated who wanted her. So could it be ingrained in us that you went after you know, the way you feel, the way you look at color is just because of rejection in the dating world?
No, I look at it because just like we talk about, breaking these generational curses, this is a generational curse. When we make our children, or when our parents or our aunts, like cousin Kevin, I hope that's okay, that like cousin Kevin said, how, growing up, your aunts never made this comment to you, your mother never made this comment to you. Like I have a friend, and I think we have a mutual friend. She's Haitian. She's light skin. Okay. In high school, everybody wanted her. I mean, there was not a man in high school that did not want this chick, but it was because of her color. And now, you get older, and yeah, it changes your perception of, oh, well, back in high school, you weren't checking for me. And it could have been, oh, I was into the light skins back then. Oh, I was into the dark skins. It wasn't dating for me. It was just what was instilled in me. So it was always the look at Al B. Sure. Ooh, that's who you want. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was checking, for the dark skinned singers. Even the memes that come out now, and they're like, oh, Prince this, Prince that. Prince was what? So nothing, wearing heels, makeup, whatever, had the perm hair down to, and that was the baddest man. He's still the baddest man ever, regardless of light or dark. But nobody was really checking for, the dark skinned guys, really, who I, hung around, and my little friend group, we were all into the light skinned guys, or the guys that were like more, my complexion, browner. But I feel like it's a generational curse. So if, growing up, I was always so, light this, light skin that, look at his eyes, look at this, look at that. That's what I wanted. I didn't raise my daughter to just say, oh, go after the lighter skinned guy because you're light skinned. You want to have these bright light babies, or you want to have this, don't go for the dark men because they this and they that. No, it's go for whoever treats you well. Go for whoever makes you feel happy. Go, go for whoever's giving you the peace of mind. But we gotta, break the generational curse. So that's why I didn't instill in my daughter what my aunts and my uncles and some neighbors and people in the church. I didn't go after what they wanted me to go after. I didn't raise my daughter to do that. So I want to break that generational curse with her. And hopefully she'll pass it on to her children, her children's children, because we shouldn't be dating for color. We shouldn't be looking at each other because, oh, I'm lighter, so clearly I'm smarter, I'm prettier. Oh, she's darker, so she must be the harder worker. The light-skinned girl, we know we ain't gonna get nothing out of her, but because this one is dark, it's back to house, nigga feel nigga. Like, what are we doing?
And for all my brothers out there that like chocolate women, Fatima Diame, look her up. I believe it at that.
Well, he said, "Peace, my brother."
Right.
But, so,
Shaka, that's interesting that you brought up that part about the as we're talking about the colorism, how sometimes even the lighter skinned women, it's not necessarily the positive for them because, like you said,
no,
she's light skinned, you're not gonna get nothing out of her, or she's not that smart. So that's interesting that you still brought that up, even though the colorism is showing a negative connotation to them for being light skinned.
Right, in corporate America. I mean, I work corporate America. I've been in corporate America for a while, and I see it happen. I see even with, let's talk. I know I'm not going to make this a pour your heart out, conversation, but, let's talk about when you walk into a room with, Black women. I think we kind of hit on this subject with Girl, She Just Don't Like You. One of our episodes, y'all go check that Pour Your Heart Out episode, Girl, She Just Don't Like You.
Keela, please put that
in the chat. Keela gonna drop
Keela, please put that link in the chat.
Thank you, my fellow Cowboys head. But I will say this, in corporate America, I've seen, Latin women come together and build each other up. I've seen the Caucasian women come together and build each other up. When it's a group, I hate to say it, of Black women, sometimes, a lot of the times, from my personal experience, nobody else, it's just me, we're crabs in a bucket. We constantly want to pull each. Ooh, did I get a? Ooh.
No, go ahead, keep talking.
Ooh. We constantly get pulled down like crabs in a bucket. We don't want to work together. I ain't working with her because automatically you assume, that, oh, it's another Black girl. She gonna have attitude. We not gonna do this. I'd rather be over here with the Latinas. I'd rather be over here with the Caucasians. Or we're not helping each other out. We're so busy going behind each other's backs, and then we make it a color thing. Oh, look at the light skin. She thinks she's supposed to be up there with the white people because she thinks she's too good to come back here and work with us. Like, no, it's not even like that. But just because I'm lighter, in color, I'm automatically pegged as I'm not going to be the hard worker. I'm automatically pegged as I'm going to be the one that's going to be trying to find the shortcuts to get away, to not do what I got to do. No, I like to work smart and not hard. It has nothing to do with the color of my skin. That's just me.
And if you look at it, it hits both ways. Because look at, if anybody has time, look up Kodak Black and light skin or color. Like uneducated rapper who you would think is on top of the world because you could tell he ain't got no education just from like him speaking. But this man hates his skin color so much he can't even fathom dating a brown woman. Like he can't fathom.
That's crazy.
And if you see with right now, you'd be like, "Yep, I see it." Like, go look at who he's dating right now. This man has said on National, he's like, "I can't date nobody like me." Matter of fact, if you remember back at Girlfriends, what Tony used to say, "Why she could never date a dark man." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
It's what you're taught, though. You're taught to date somebody lighter, and so you can have lighter babies with softer hair and stuff like that. It's
that generational curse. That generational curse.
And I've seen it flip the other way because I know so many light-skinned girls that won't date certain men because they get tired of being put on this invisible pedestal because they light-skinned, they must be this avarice of wonderfulness or whatever. So it messes them up a little bit too. They that's why they end up wanting some grimy dudes because the hood dudes don't treat me like that. We all messed up, and it's all our parents, our grandparents, and it all leads to what? White supremacy. Thank you very much.
There you go. You had to throw it in there.
You all have a good night. White supremacy.
Hey, real quick. Cliff puts up an interesting, and I wish Keela could come in because this topic really seemed to be pushing the button with Keela. But Cliff put a comment in the chat. He says, "So why is bleaching skin soap selling still today?" And one of y'all mentioned that growing up, especially coming from Jamaica, my fellow countrymen would always use a product called Ambi, a skin lightener. Like they just always wanted to be lighter. You look at Sammy Sosa. You look at a lot of these entertainers today that had beautiful darker skin, and now all of a sudden they like Breezy said, they look peach, like that peachish reddish looking color,
that orange. Yeah,
they're going against the natural order of God and screwing up the complexion that he gave them. So why do you guys think still here in 2023 that it's still so prevalent right now, all this lightening cream and whitening cream? And
there's still so many of us that don't love ourselves and don't understand that we're beautiful the way we are. There's not enough of us having these types of conversations telling people you're beautiful the way you are. It's just not happening.
And that's why I'm here. Dark women, we love you out there. I've been loving chocolate my whole life. It is delicious. I'm surprised my bad, I almost said something. Never mind.
Y'all make sure and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you feel so inclined, the super chats are open. My cousin Kevin, you do owe me $10 for dropping the F-bomb. So please hit the cash app. So Keela, I'm gonna read Keela's comment first and then get back to Michelle's. Keela says, yes, it's because growing up it was an issue for me. I was labeled a darkie. See, I went to school with Keela. I never once looked at Keela and was like, damn, your black ass. I never looked at her like that. Like I look at Keela, I feel like me and Keela the same complexion. She have a beautiful skin complexion. So let's go. Michelle says back in the 60s, it was a light skin was in the 70s, black power, Afro naturals were in. That's when the skin color went from light skin to black skin. All right, so y'all see the timer on the screen. So I do want to ask you guys a question because we're talking about colorism. Can any one of you point to a direct time where colorism directly was the reason for you not getting a position or not getting something in life because you directly related to colorism, not racism, colorism, because they picked a lighter person over you or a darker?
Well, for men, it's only going to be dating, and because it's illegal, no one. It's like racism. They're not going to say it out loud. No one's going to say it. They're not going to say you can't get this job, darky. They're not going to do that. White supremacy doesn't work like that anymore.
Oh Lord. The only thing I would say for me, I can't say that I didn't get a position or, a job or something like that, but I was pegged as, she's probably going to be a little bit lazier than the other two, young ladies who worked in the office because they were darker color. So they just assume that they're going to work harder.
That is crazy.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
So
work harder.
So you're
Because
saying
dark people struggle more.
I guess. I mean, because I go back to that feel, Shaka, you must have been on the porch if you wouldn't master's child, versus, oh, you was definitely out there in the field, so we know you're going to work hard. Like, that's where it took me. But I can't say.
Calluses.
Say it again.
I said, there was like, I bet Shaka ain't got no calluses. She ain't going to work.
Right. But I do. I'm the hardest work. Listen, I'm like James Brown. I work hard.
Said, not you, sweetie.
My sister was in the house and I was in the field. That's the kind of stuff they used to say. But let me tell you something. My sister would curse anybody out when it came to me. My sister's 7 years older than me. She ain't play that. Don't say nothing negative about me and try to make it seem like she's better than me or looks better than my sister. I think that's what helped me also in my later years. She's always told me how beautiful I am and stuff like that. And my mother as well. But my mom didn't realize she was tying chocolate to it. She didn't realize that was attaching, not necessarily, she didn't know how much negativity I was getting from school around being chocolate. So when she would tell me I was a pretty chocolate girl, it would be like, but I'm chocolate. Like, man, if I could just get rid of this chocolate, then I'll just be pretty. She didn't know that though, because she never tied it to that. But again, with her being lighter, she didn't experience that type of thing, so she didn't know anything about that. But I can't say I've ever gotten or not gotten anything. But again, I don't fit just one box of being stereotyped. Like I said, I'm tall, I'm big, and I'm black. So I get all of them. Like y'all said, oh, she violent. Why? Because I'm big and black? I'm going to beat somebody up because I'm big and black? We do it unconsciously. It's just something that like people say because it's what we've always said. But no.
Trevor?
Go ahead, Mike.
Why is that dolphin viciously attacking that basketball player?
Because the Miami Dolphins, are number one. That's why. Young Kev, you've been quiet, man. What you got?
Good Lord.
Well, you asked that question. I can't relate. To me, like I see.
Oh, that's
you good. To me, like I said, I see colorism as like a self-esteem issue. I see it as like an issue that happens in the Black community because there's not enough like representation. So luckily we have the internet and we have like things like Instagram. We have like podcasts where we can see like beautiful chocolate women, because before you would get those stereotypes, you'd get just light-skinned people being represented in the media. So, and then you're gonna have people who's cracking jokes. So of course you're gonna feel like you're not enough. You're gonna feel like you're not as good as the light-skinned person or a light-skinned brother or sister in the family. But I think it all goes down to better Black representation and accountability. Because we all like cracking jokes, right? Whether it's dark skin or light skin. I mean, there was a whole thing on Instagram or Vine where there'd be jokes where like, oh, dark skinned people do this, but light skinned people, oh, they're girly, or like light skinned dudes, they're girly, stuff like that. So, I mean,
that's true.
I mean, it's to me, I just see it as a Black community issue, when it comes to that.
And it was given down by white supremacy.
I mean, there's no white person that's gonna make me. There's nothing a white person can.
Froze up, Mike.
What?
No, I thought you froze up because you got cut off.
No.
Kevin, what were you saying? It's nothing a white person. What?
Don't get something.
As an individual, there's nothing a white person can tell me to make me look down on a white dude or a Black dude. Now, if they do something themselves that make me look down on them, like, for example, coming out the house and stinking, and I'm gonna say you stink, but it's not because you black, but it's because you stink. That's the way I see it.
He
But
likes that.
Or, I'm sorry, dark skin.
But Mike, he does that a lot though. Like he always put these weird stigmas to black people, like coming out of the house stinking, or
But I
you're
thought he was gonna
dusty,
say. I thought he was gonna say the white man came out the house thinking.
no, Kev does that a lot. If you listen to Kev on this show, he always go that way. Like I don't understand it.
I'm trying to tell y'all not to
Wait,
fall.
which way?
Don't listen to Kev. Let him say his foolishness, and then we'll just work around it. Don't listen to Kev.
Okay, so what am I saying that's invalid?
Of white supremacy in action, and he'd be like, "Well, the camera tint that man might have been light skinned. You don't know. You can't listen to Kev. Kev crazy."
Okay, so what about that?
Go ahead, Kev.
No, I'm just wondering what's invalid about that. Because the way I
Because
see
I
it
said
is like
white supremacy, I didn't say white people coming out of their house. I said white supremacy instilled colorism in black people from slavery. And now, as the generation we are, where we're finally allowing ourselves to have counseling, we're finally allowing ourselves, we're in a place where we can try to better ourselves as adults after we've gotten our children out, or while we're still in the process of getting our children out. We're finally in a generation where we can better that. And you're like, white people ain't got nothing to do with it. What about all the generations from slavery to now? They've been going through it. What about other cultures who aren't in the place where we are now, who still teach their kids, hey, you got to get a white man. You'll do better in life if you get a white guy. Hey, don't marry a dark girl. We got to get the generations lighter. We got to keep getting lighter. We got to keep getting lighter. And it's not just black people, because Mexicans, they love white women like you would not believe. Asians, you can't tell an Asian that a white man ain't God. You can't tell a white man, a dude who's a white 3 over here will be a white 15 over in Asia. Please believe.
Some white men love their black women.
Love us.
I'm not this. Hey, I was going through this argument just the other day. I'm gonna tell you, like, I know there's white men that like to sleep with black women. There is not a high percentage of white men that like to marry black women. Y'all can say, I know 3-4 people that got married. That's cool. I'm talking about on a large scale in America, white men will bang you. They will drop G's in you. They'll pay money. Come on, girl, let's do that. When it's time to come home to see grandpa, you can't see grandpa. You got to wait till grandpa dies. Grandpa not going to let you. You're going to mess up my inheritance. Hold on. I'm talking about white upper crust. I ain't talking about the hood white dudes. Them white, like Paul Wall, all he know is black women. I ain't talking about them. Paul Wall, he a half a nigga himself. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about white dudes that black women go, ooh, I want him. Them dudes will look at you and be like, you're something nice to go out with when we go to the other side of town. I like to keep you outside when it's dark, but you can't come in, you can't meet the fam. Sorry.
That's a reach, because there's black dudes that don't marry black women. So you can't equate the fact that, because white people have a larger majority, that you don't see them marrying into black people as much.
Sir,
but
all I have to do is look at the percentage of people who are married that are white. That's all you got to do. Look up the percentages of marriage and look up the percentages of white people that are marrying black people.
Kevin.
Well, marriage is a dying concept anyway. So
no matter what you say, he gonna dig some bullshit up.
Hold on, because I don't want to move the goalpost. See what I did?
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
Hold on. We got 20 minutes left, and I do want to go down this alley. But Nene, did you have anything to add to this before I move the goalpost?
No, I have not. Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head where I can say I missed out on this job or opportunity solely because of being dark skinned. Because of being black, yes, but not because of being dark skinned. And then I work in the school board, so if anything, it would be more because of my race.
And it'd be harder for women because this is the time of their ascension. Over the last 10 years, it's been women are the favored minority because they hit 2 quotas. So it wouldn't hit them that as hard as it would have been back in the 80s.
So Michelle says, Kevin, you didn't grow up in the era of skin color. Skin color, one at a time, depends on the jobs you would get. Light skin worked in front office and the black skin was in the back. That's absolutely true. So
not to Kevin, it never happened if Kevin will tell it.
So with the last couple minutes that we have, you guys already started touching on it. with all this being said, Mike always brings up white supremacy. We know that colorism is a product of racism. It was brought onto us by white people and ingrained in our mind. Why still so many black women marrying out? Even though we know all of this, and you guys are just now embracing the love for your skin, you just now embracing my black is beautiful, but yet and still you turn around and not y'all, none of y'all married white people, I know that, but they still turn around and marry outside of their race, which for the record, just so everybody knows, everybody knows I keep it consistent. I'm not for interracial dating, but if you interracially date, whatever. I am 100% against interracial marriage, though. I'm 100% against it. I want to ask me why, we'll deal with it on another show. But y'all go ahead.
I can tell you why I think it is, and I think it's because we are living in the time of I'm looking out for me and I'm worried about me. A lot of people, not just women, but let's talk about women. A lot of women have dated inside our race, and we feel like we've gotten not as far as we want to get. So you're approached by guys of other races and different cultures and things, and you feel like, you know what, I've been loyal to black men, let me try something else out and see what happens. It's not let me keep it in the community, we don't have a lot of village mentality left anymore. When I say we, I'm not speaking of myself, because that is not how I feel, but I have seen it. And they want to give another race or another culture a try, because I'm worried about me and my happiness, and whatever race of children I end up creating, it's just going to be our bubble of happiness, and we'll move forward from there. I'm not speaking for, or I'm not trying to keep the culture alive just to be miserable with black men who don't want to give me nothing.
Then don't complain about having darker skin then.
Agreed.
Oh, that easy, no pushback? Okay.
Because it's not me. It's not my scenario. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get no pushback from me when it comes to something like that. No.
Oh, logical women. Good Lord.
I know, Mike is hard. Next week we'll get back to the foolishness, but it's hard dealing with logical women, man. Like,
amazing, sir.
It's crazy. Understand, like, damn, these women making too much sense. Shaka, what you got? Because hey, I don't know if y'all can see the studio, the looks on their faces, but Shaka be making these damn faces. What you got, Shaka?
I'm trying. I mean, to each his own. I get it. I love love. I love black love. I love it. It's something wonderful and amazing about it. It's just something about, and I guess my issue would be, it's just something about my black man coming home to tell me about, his black day in white corporate America that I can relate to. Like it's a TikTok or a reel. It's like, I can't speak my black mind around these non-black people that want to talk about these, non-black things. Like, I would get fired. Like, I get it, but it's something totally different where, as a woman, you've been dating because you love your black men and we love our kings and we trying to do, have our black chocolate families and all these things. But if I am being treated like crap, if I am being treated where I don't have peace of mind, if I'm being treated horribly, and I was raised with the mentality of, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got. So if I choose to step outside the box, and let's say this vanilla, man has now chosen to show me and to treat me and to match the energy that I've been looking for, then am I wrong for straying over there? Maybe, but it's my peace of mind at the end of the night. I gotta sleep comfortably. I like to sleep, in the nude with my AC on 69, ceiling fan going, humidifier on, and my heating pad because I'm old. I'm a middle-aged woman. There you go, Mimi. I knew I was gonna throw it in there.
But don't get mad when he chops your head off and puts it in the bag.
Correct. And you're right. If he ends up being Jeffrey Dahmer, then so be it. It is what it is. But that's just what it is. If I'm happy over there, then that's where I choose to be. However, my preference, of course, is to stay home, with my black men and my black love. But let me bring up one point really quick about the interracial dating. I had a coworker who is Spanish, and she only dates black men. She did not date anyone Spanish, white, what have you. And I'll never forget, something happened, And there was in the news, everybody started talking about Emmett Till, and she was like, "What is this Emmett Till everybody talking about?" And I was like, "And that's why you need to leave my people alone."
Kev,
Yep.
Kev, and
Crazy.
real quick, shout out to St. Louis, Benjamin Israel. So Benjamin Israel brings up a good point, and they always do it. That's why I love the Bible, guys. He says the scriptures forbid interracial marriage because other races worship false gods, which will pollute Yahweh's chosen people. Charmaine, I guess, in response to him, what happened? Oh, Charmaine, in response to him, says that at the time the scriptures forbid interracial marriage because of paganism, and God didn't want it to influence his people to idolatry. If one of you guys want to do a debate on that, find somebody to do it. I'm all for it. Young Kev, what do you think about interracial marriage?
That black book with Dusty or something.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but yeah.
Kevin.
To me, I do believe the Bible is a manual for how to live life to a certain extent. And I can understand, if I was Mike born in the 1800s, I'd be a little apprehensive about interracial marriages. But to me, like in modern times, I don't see anything wrong with it. As long as it doesn't mess up your genetics, like the same way it would if you were like dating your sister or dating your mom and stuff like that, then I don't see any problem.
How would you would you take a white woman as one of your wives? Because we know you want multiple.
Of course he would. Don't you lie.
I don't know. I'll debate that. I probably wouldn't. I mean, I've dated a white girl before. It's not the same flavor. Yeah, it's not the same flavor. It's not the same. They don't have the same features that I like. I like curly hair, or I like nice lips.
You redeemed yourself.
Yo, Trevor's heart was blooming the more you spoke. He's like, "That's my Kev." I heard it.
That was definitely a trap, but yeah, it's not the same flavor. So I wouldn't say it's for me. But if somebody else, they like their features, and I can't blame them, because there's beautiful women all over the world. So if they want a little cinnamon, or they want some apricots or whatever, garlic.
So a white woman with big lips would be okay.
I don't know.
Is there
No.
He said apricots.
He said you got to be cooking.
I don't know. It's to me it's more like the vibes of the individual, and at the same time I like the way that I like the way a girl shines, like a dark skinned girl or brown skinned girl shines. I don't want to get nasty with it, but I just like the way I love the way black women look. I just leave it at that. But yeah, if somebody else wants to go outside their race, then I don't see any issues with that.
All right, Nene, what you got on this interracial? We talk about this all the time, but let the people hear interracial marriage.
I don't have an issue with it. It's not my preference. Obviously, I'm married black. Like I've never been interested in dating outside of my race. I've been approached by men outside of my race, but that's just nothing that I've ever been interested in. But I don't see an issue if that's where they find love. But again, like you and Mike have alluded to, like it's still that thing where, okay, this is where I find love, but then I can't get upset or feel a kind of way when in the middle of an argument, he just blurted out and called me the N-word or chop my head off, sleep, all that. That's something that I still have to think about. Like, you know what? He is still who he is. That's something that you still have to realize, that it could eventually come up in some kind of way, and can't be all super duper shocked about it. But I'm all for find love where you find love, but I'm always gonna be team black love.
I am as well, but you know what's crazy? Was it Mike or Trevor? I think it was Mike that spoke on how, no, it might have been, I don't know. One of you spoke on how other races fetishize us, and it's true. I don't know if it was because of how heavy I was or because I was black, but I have been hit on by men of other races, and it never felt like I'm genuinely interested in you as a person. It felt like I want some chocolate. You know what I'm saying? It never felt sincere. So I agree that definitely happens.
That's a good damn point. All right, Mike, what you? That's a good point.
Just not with
Very
women.
good.
Go ahead, Mike.
I said it. No, I said it happens to me too. Just not with women. For some reason, Dominican gay dudes think I'm fine.
I wasn't ready for that, Mike.
What?
Every
It's the lips,
Dominican man I have met in my life.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Y'all don't want me to start because I got stories.
No, we got to bring him up, pour your heart out.
Mike, you shaped like Winnie the Pooh.
Hey, they call me a bear. Yeah, I'm a bear. That's how I know what a bear is.
Mike is a Pooh Bear.
Yo, that was one of my nicknames in school. I hated it. And I don't wear clothes and I always throw a shirt on so I look like Pooh sometimes. So
oh my God.
It is what it is.
That was funny.
Except I love more than Pooh. But anyway, I'm saying it's like I want to get on y'all, but I'm not going to. I feel like Trevor set this up the way he set it up. So I would get on y'all for the reasons you're not getting the good black men, but I'm not going to let him fall. I'm not going to let him trap me in that normal, because today is not hating on women day.
But nobody said we weren't getting good black men.
I was going to say, who said that?
Who said we get the good black men?
You all said you. Let me quote. Let me quote.
No, please do.
So if I keep dating all these black men and I can't get nothing good with them, there's no reason I should. Why should I not give the other race a try? I believe it's all y'all females.
To us. That
it's
is
a preference.
That don't apply to me.
Right.
Till I got
I've dated outside my race. My preference is not to. However, I just go where I'm happy. And if I'm happy with said white, Spanish, Italian, whomever, then that's what my happy self gonna be. But my preference is black because it's just something about black love that just do it for me. Don't mean I'm not getting good black men. I'm just saying I'm an equal opportunity dater is what I am.
All right. I'm not gonna go any deeper. Like Trevor set me up and I fell for it a little bit. So I'm not gonna fall any deeper.
There's nothing better than a big black man. And I said big on purpose. I love big men.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody that ever hears that. For some strange reason, I only hear that from taken women that's too old, women that's too young, or women that I can't sleep with because we're related. That's all I hear from. I never hear from single women. I never, or I hear from Dominican men, apparently.
I love me a big black man.
Get out of here. I've been trying to know you for 3 seasons. Get out of here. Move.
I love a big black man.
Move. You heard. So anyway, yo, hey Trev, you see what they did to me on Facebook? Please. You must not know. You got a husband. I ain't gonna say nothing. Excuse me. I'm not falling for. Hold up. Didn't you say earlier that we weren't even friends? Retrograde. I'm mad at you. I'm gonna cuss you out later. Come on, Michael's not really my friend, but like if Shaka said something like,
oh, she was making a point.
My point is it hurt my feelings.
I didn't say you were my friend.
Pooh, don't
That's
act like
what
that,
I heard.
I said
Pooh, don't act like that, Pooh. Mikey Pooh, don't act like that.
Hey, don't flirt with me unless I'm gonna find out where your address. Like on somewhere. Stop playing with me. All right. Now, like I thought that was Michael. Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Focus.
They sure know how to throw Mike off, boy. I swear.
Okay, let's focus, Mike. Come on.
Bro, you ain't seen the picture?
No.
Anyway, so I forgot what I was talking about. Shaka said my name about 4 times. I should have recorded it. You say it again?
Interracial marriage. Interracial marriage.
Oh, thank you. It's sadly, I don't know what it is, but my whole life
I had to fight. Sorry.
You told Hoppo to beat me.
The Color Purple trailer. I'm watching the trailer for the Color Purple.
You told Hoppo to beat. I kill him dead. All right. But on the real, like, I don't know. Like, I grew up in the same, like, for women, they had the colorism, right? I had the thugism because I'm not a thug and I don't want to be. So black women my entire life have been in love with the idea of gangsta-ass Tyrone. So like it got to a point. That's why the mother of my child is Spanish. because black women, the only time I would get attention from black women is either after them dudes ran through them, and now they were on that I gotta find a nice guy. I'm tired of messing with these thugs. And then I tell them, hey, shorty, I'm nice, but I ain't gonna be nice for you. You ran through. Keep moving. Or it was the women who had hit the wall and they were trying to come back and be like, I can start at the 8s and then try to move down till I catch somebody as high as I can. And I'm not falling for that either because I know what that game looked like. So for me, like Shaka said, I had to go with who wanted me. And for some reason, Spanish women think I'm fly as hell. So they do. And if you look into it, they got the same Native Americans that Jamaicans have. They got them Tainos and them Arawaks. So it wasn't that far stretch for your boy. So I had to do what I had to do because, like I told, there's a wonderful young lady that we all know. Maybe Shaka. No, Shaka, you might know her too. I ain't gonna say her name, but Trevor, you remember you said her daughter was watching your daughter and you thought she was an amazing chick?
Yeah.
Right. I think she is even above Dr. Mia. She is the highest ranking woman that I've ever known in my life that is not related to me. Right. I hold her on a pedestal. Like any dude that gets her to marry them, I automatically think, dude, cool. We friends automatic because I think she's an amazing human being.
She's married, right?
Yeah, she just got remarried. Don't rub it in, bro. Like, what we doing? What we doing?
Who that?
Right.
We're on
Put
live.
it in the chat. Put it in the chat later.
Put it in the chat.
Right, later.
Yeah, we'll get in the group chat where I'm.
Group, right.
You see, she feeling me. So she and I used to have all these conversations, and I used to tell her how like black women used to get mad at me when they saw me with my ex, and she was the one who helped me realize like the feeling where it was like, yo, you want me to wait around to find this mythological black woman until I'm alone and dead and she ain't gonna show? No, I'm gonna go be happy with the chick that like me. So that's where I had to go. I love black women. Like, if you know anything about me or you know that young lady, you go ask her about me. She will tell you I love black women like nobody's business. I'm the dude when I was 6 who was pulling up on, hey, I'm telling you, you an awesome chick. I got a friend in Texas who I've only seen once in my life who whenever she's going through a life crisis calls me. I've only seen her once in my entire life, and I'll probably never see her again. I got people who call, I got people on WhatsApp who I've never seen who just, yo, Michael, I need a story. Could you give me something? I need something to get me through. It's just who I am. It's my nature as a man that I love to uplift black women. That's why I speak the way I speak, because if I see you going down a path, it's like, I got to say something. And I want one. Like, you have no idea how much I would love I love black women. It's just the ones I get be damaged. And I'm sorry. I've lived my life crazy gluing crazy black women back together, and I ran out of glue.
You ready for your soft life?
Huh?
I say you ready for your soft life.
What? Girl,
Mike in his soft era. Okay,
I'm trying to take these waves off.
I like
I'm trying to live my soft life. What? Like,
he in his soft era. Okay.
Hey, I'm tired of the fight. I'm tired. If y'all knew my last relationship and what I had to deal with, oh my gosh. I got in a fight because she was falling for me. That makes sense?
Yeah.
You falling for me and you mad at me? That's what I get. I get all these cracked and shattered dishes women, and it just, yo, hey, if there's a black woman out there that think your boy is cute, holla at your boy. I am open. I am healed. I've done my shadow work. You feel me? And all the brother want is I've never cheated. I'm not a cheater because I'm afraid of STDs mostly. That's most of the reason I don't cheat. Because I'm terrified. If I wake up with a bump, I'll be terrified. I want to fight a chick, so I don't do that. I'm not going to cheat because I don't like entertaining new people. Like, if you got to make one woman feel good mentally, you don't have enough room to make another woman because they crazy. This woman is enough. One woman is enough. So holla at your boy. I'm going to let the last minute go back to Trevor. I'm sorry, sir. You didn't stop me, so it's your fault.
All right, real quick before we close this out, Cliff says it's funny, and it's storming bad over here, so I don't know.
Yes,
my computer's starting to act up. But Cliff, so I can't even put the comment up. Cliff said it's funny when the interracial relationship ends the black person has to give out all the money. So Michelle is asking him to explain. So he's giving references like Halle Berry, Tina Turner. But y'all know Cliff, man. Cliff is very eccentric. So you guys know how he is. So I'll just say this real quick as to why I'm against interracial marriage, and then we'll give our closings and close out the show. This might be the fastest Man Talk Monday ever. We talked about colorism earlier. We know where it stems from. We know it stems from white supremacy. We know it stems from the slave masters favoring the lighter skinned women that they raped, by the way. And then it just continues to go down from generation to generation. We know that. And
that's scary.
So we
that scared me so bad.
Right, that woke up my dog. What is happening?
We know that, and we still, we still try to take on our colonizers' ways, but at the same time, we want to push this Black Power narrative. Yeah, my screen is freezing up over here. We want to push this Black Power narrative. We want to constantly say, "Oh, I'm all pro Black this. I'm all pro Black this." But when it comes down to the most honorable thing that a human could do, which is marriage, you now want to turn around and give that to white people. Like I'm over it. Like I don't think, I'm not fond of interracial dating. I don't watch interracial porn. But I just think Black women, regardless of what you guys think, because I always say we have a communication issue in the Black community. I just think Black women need to stop giving themselves to white people, and vice versa. Black men need to stop giving themselves to Black women, because white women, because if we keep talking about, oh, we need to carry on the Black race, we need to strengthen the Black race, we need to do this. Well, how the hell y'all think that's going to happen if you marrying out of your race? And that's my issue with that. If you want to play around, you do whatever you want to do. Just don't bring no babies in it. Don't bring babies in. I am very crazy in my thought pattern. I say some of the weirdest stuff. I know people are probably going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? But it makes sense. It all makes sense in my head. And I think we need to stop being so free with giving our seed and our womb to people that have denigrated us for years. And now you want to turn around and say, oh, I'm going to marry that person. I'm going to take the one thing that God says is honorable and give it to that person. Nah, I'm not for that. I'm not having that. And Keela brings it up. Look at Jeezy. Jeezy's leaving the Jenny Mild chick. Like he realized. And I heard real quick, I just listened to something real quick on her that she has anger issues.
Yes.
And,
sis, I told you.
But like, why would Jeezy? It is what it is. You like what you like. He has a baby from her. Now she gets to have the full experience that she wanted. And
don't say that.
And that's my ending with that. We can go ahead and give our closeouts. And if y'all want to do the interracial marriage thing, I'm 100% open for it. So if you guys want to, let's go around the board and give our closeouts, because we making perfect on time. So young Kev, well, no, you part of Man Talk Monday. Breezy, who's missing? Somebody's missing. Oh,
cousin Kevin.
Oh yeah, my cousin Kevin. All right, Breezy, go on, give us your closeout.
I guess my closeout would just be, yes, colorism is still an issue. Erica Mena shouldn't have been fired. Cancel all the Love and Hip Hops, period. And yeah, let's love ourselves. Love your skin, love your stuff, love your babies. All of it.
I second all that.
In that order.
In that order. Ew, not the Mama D quote. Come on, Mike.
I told y'all I used to be married. I watched it.
What happened? I didn't see what happened.
I said a reference from the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't say you're not a motherfucking factor. I didn't go back that far.
Shaka, what you got? Hey, Shaka, where's Lim? Normally, when you on the panel, Lim always pop up.
So in closing, because I can only keep up with Shaka's schedule. Shaka don't know nobody else. I don't know. But what I will say in closing is, yes, I concur with my sister Breezy. Also, I just feel like as a community, we just got work to do. You know, we got work to do when it comes to colorism, to breaking that generational curse. We got work to do when it comes to racism. We got work to do when it just comes to us as a Black community as a whole, listening to one another. Because, you know, I always say communication is key. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And we need to apply that now more so than ever, because you have people like, you know, our Kevin that's on the show, who didn't grow up in that era that we grew up on. Not, stop it, Mike. Who grew up he didn't grow up in the era that we grew up, you know, in, knowing, like, I think it was Michelle who made the comment where, you know, he didn't know how it was for like how we were when we grew up in the 80s and, you know, in the 90s. So I just feel like we just need to communicate better with one another, hear what each other are saying, and just, you know, break this generational curse of colorism. If they're going to fire Erica Mena, they should have fired Spice. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
I agree. Young Kev, what you got? What you got?
I want to say to all my people out there, Black people, yes, we're doing a great job. The fact that, you know, I don't have those experiences with colorism. I think we're doing a good job. And yes, I know Mike, people like Mike, you know, born in the 1850s are like, you know, are you know, still heard about the stuff that's happened back then, which I understand, but you know, we're doing better. You know, I had something else to say. But yeah, love yourself, take care of yourself, take care of your people. And if you are happy with another race, I would say that's great for you. If you're happy with the same race, that's great for you as well. I'd rather someone be happy and put out positive energy than put out negativity. And then yeah, I was gonna say, Shaka.
Yes.
Looking cute tonight. Your beauty is like the sun. Like,
I'm
gonna see it every morning.
Negro, she's the moon. Got it. You don't even know how to flirt right.
I had to put it out there. But
yo, hey, Kev redeeming himself, man.
But all right, nice seeing y'all. Nice meeting you, Breezy.
Put your peen in my sissy's wing.
I'm trying to put my Lordy. All right, that's all I got to say. Good night, y'all.
Well said, Kevin. Well said.
Normally Mike would close out, but since the queen is up here, I'm gonna let Mike take the next close out.
Kevin, don't let anybody block your peen. You attack all you can, sir. I agree with everybody today, which made me really feel dirty inside. I didn't get to argue with anybody. I had to like hate on Kevin a little extra just because there wasn't else to do. Ugh, look at all this. Ugh, look at that. See, all I get is love from people who I can't have. You see what I'm saying, Trevor? You see it, right? All right. So since I can't do anything, I'm going to send a, do you mind if I give out I don't know what it's called when I like shout something out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. A friend of mine from high school who was 1 year under me, my boy Sean, just opened a store in Pembroke Pines. The Jerk Stop, 9614 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines, 33024 at the Jerk Stop FL on Instagram. They have a soft opening this week. He's the critical chef. I love him dearly. He is the only human on the planet that is as horribly ratchet as me while showing none of it in his face. You would never know, but I love you dearly, sir. I wish you all the best luck. And If I can find a way to get out of work early one of these days before I got to get my daughter on Friday, I am going to drive to Fort Lauderdale to patronize your establishment. I love you to death, Sean Mills. Be safe. I wish you all the best, and I hope your store is amazing and it stays open till the 20. What he said, I was born in 1800, so I can reach like 200 years old before I see it, or whatever, 300, whatever. But much success, much love. Trevor, your head is nice and shiny today, so you still might get some, even though you said some stupid stuff earlier. Moon Goddess, much love. Keep the bicycle shorts flying. Breezy, Breezy, I know them white people try to touch your locks, but I would too, because they look luxurious. And Nene, I ain't got nothing. Hello, child. You better show it. I wish you was.
Get it, sis. Get it. Show them out, sis. Yes.
And Nene, look how luscious Trevor Beard is. Go ahead and give your boy a little. All right, so y'all have a good night.
It's beautiful.
Don't give your boy a little, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I tried the wingman, sir.
All right. All right, y'all. Y'all appreciate y'all for coming on. Nene, don't go nowhere. Look like everybody froze up. What's going on? Did Mike freeze up? Or is he just holding that pose?
No, he's off.
Oh yeah, my thing is really slowing down on me. So yeah, but Breezy, we appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
I was hoping that you would have came on. Is she still on? Because it seems like
I missed y'all. Yes, I'm here.
We missed you too.
Yeah,
Life been lifing, but I'm trying to get back in here with y'all.
Yeah, you always got a home over here. We ain't tripping. Hey, sometimes
I appreciate it.
Sometimes the terrible thing called adult life always hits all in the ass. Because adulting is terrible. It's just a terrible, overrated experience. So, all right, man. Peace. We appreciate you coming on. Let me go and close this down.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Great
Look at that. It's like the shortest Man Talk Monday we ever had.
It was really good.
We definitely need to have the women over more. We still got to have that conversation. The unsocial side of social media. When I was making thumbnails for upcoming shows, I saw a nice thumbnail that I wanted to use for it. So just get with the ladies and find out when we could do it.
We will.
Because I think that'll be another good crossover conversation, especially with Kev being so young and they so into social media stuff. So look at that. We kept this right under the sweet spot, man. So now I got time to I can go relax now. You looking nice.
Thank you. I was told I looked elegant by one of the second graders today. Made me feel all bubbly inside.
Your skin looking all nice and pretty.
This dark skin.
Yeah, see, again, we always had this conversation. I never, like, when I think of dark, man, I know some dudes that's the color of my shirt. Like,
you think of this when you think of dark.
Yeah, like I know some dudes I grew up with that were like blue black. So when I'm thinking about like dark skin, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, I look at somebody like you, I think I may be darker than you. I just have a more like I think I have a more bluer tint, or it may just be the screen. But
you're not darker than me. You have a nice caramel skin tone.
Yeah, you got that nice, sexy complexion, especially when you put your cream on, like cocoa butter and stuff. That skin be glowing, man. Like, I mean, like a milk chocolate
all right,
caramel.
Now this is not an after dark. Come on now.
All right, I'm just trying to find a way. I don't want to just kick you off outright, but what did you think about the show? What did you have?
I think this was an amazing episode. I think it is a topic that really needs to be discussed in our community, especially for the younger ones to hear. I like that Kev was able to hear, like, this is reality. This is really what's out there. This is what we are experiencing and what we have experienced. So I'm glad that we were able to hear different points of view and everybody just get their opinions out. I think it was an amazing episode, and we got to have more like this.
Definitely, definitely. What you guys got? What you guys got coming up on Pour Your Heart Out?
We are working on coming up with a date for our Black Crown. We're going to be talking about our hair. You know, Black women in our hair is a whole thing. So we're going to be coming up with dates for that. But as soon as we have it, I will be posting it in here so everybody can get that notification.
All
and
right.
we are also working on. We have to see who wants to be a part of it. We're working on an episode. Possibly it's going to be titled "I'm Not Your Sis." CIS. So
I'm on that.
Yes,
I'm going to insert myself into that conversation.
So we'll be coming up with a date for that. And then our review episode, when we reviewed the show, Make Up the Breakup, that was really good. So we're talking about other things that we want to watch and review as well. So we have some things coming. We'll be back soon.
I think I mentioned it to you. Another thing that I'd like for you guys to review, do a correlation between Girlfriends and what was the other show that I mentioned?
Was it Living Single and Girlfriends?
I don't know what the other show was, but Girlfriend. Yeah, Girlfriends was definitely. I'd like you guys to just do a correlation between Girlfriends, those women. Oh, Sisters, Girlfriend and Sisters.
Sisters, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to see that show. You guys parallel those two shows. I think that'll be a fantastic show. But yeah,
so we're looking at the calendar because y'all stay booked and busy over here on Straight Talk Society. So we're looking at the calendar and we'll try to grab some dates first. You know, we try to stick with Fridays and Saturdays. So
yeah, Friday's just a thing. I mean, you lock in the Friday and Saturday, you lock in the Friday or Saturday, you got it. I mean,
right.
Bones and Zay, you know, they do their thing. I don't think they have another show to the end of October. So
okay.
So you guys,
all right, we'll be back on the calendar soon.
All right. Well, y'all good.
All right. Thank you for having me.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry, by the way.
All right. Your pledge is ready. You come out.
All right.
All right. See you soon.
All right.
All right. Later.
Well, Straight Talk Society, there you have it. Another fantastic episode of the Straight Talk Sessions, of Pour Your Heart Out and Man Talk Monday collaboration. I thought we had a really good episode. And I think we need more of those crossover episodes with the women and the men, just because when you get into these conversations, there's certain conversations that I'm not just. Can you imagine me, Mike, Wayne, and Kev just trying to have a conversation about colorism? It just wouldn't work. I think we could do it, but it just wouldn't have been that good, you know, and it would almost just come off like we were trying to force it. But when you interject the women in there, it just makes it so much better because they're the ones that directly had to deal with it. You know, growing up, I never had anybody compare me to a light-skinned dude. You know, it's like, you know, so I'm not going to say that what the women are saying is wrong. But I absolutely think that I'm against the Erica Mena firing. If they were going to fire her, then Spice should have been fired also, because they both did the confrontation. I just think with all the trash that goes on, that first of all, show should be on air anymore. I mean, Yeah, I don't know if I'm still in. Can you guys hear me? Am I still live? Yeah, look like I'm still alive. Okay, yeah, I'm still alive. Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, it's raining really bad over here. So great show tonight, though. I really appreciate when the ladies come on over here because we just have those fantastic conversations, man. Shout out to Nene, shout out to Shaka, shout out to Breezy, shout out to Young Kev, shout out to Wayne. I know Wayne probably had to work late tonight. Shout out to Big Mike. Fantastic show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. All those who left comments, Michelle, Charmaine, Benjamin Israel, St. Louis came by, Ricardo, Keela, all of those watching in the chat. I mean, in the clouds. We'll be back tomorrow night for Tape Fist Politics. If I'm not mistaken, I think Venkat is changing tomorrow's show. It was going to do the Trump versus Obama's administration, but he's not feeling good. So he's going to do a lighter show where he doesn't have to put in so much work. But nevertheless, it will be a good show. Then Wednesday, we will be back for Wrestling with Reality. And Thursday, you'll have St. Louis Undisputed Truth TV versus Brother Stacey Mobley. Are there 204 books of scripture? So make sure and tune into that. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.
Why are you so aggressive, black man? I'm like, it's a no-win.
Always aggressive black man.
What's up, man?
Wayne.
Mike.
Oh, okay. Hey man, cut the sexiness out, man. Ain't no women on the panel. Man, we on here talking all sexy.
He just goes off. He just went off on you like that just for no reason.
Yeah, man.